Get a real-time bird's-eye view of your projects. Create project plans in one click. See the big picture across multiple projects. Get real-time updates. Create dependencies and bring emails to the schedule. This is Reich Gantt charts. Plan, visualize, and share work.
We've given you a 40-cent raise, Peyton. Congratulations. I can still picture that exact moment.
music, you're basically having a conversation. There's a question.
All right, welcome, guys. We have another week of the EGL League of Legends Circuit, and today we have THE versus EGL, so it should be a really good game. I'm back. Me and Simeon are back after a week off. Little vacation time.
We needed that break, right?
Much needed, yeah. We got THE this week.
Yeah.
Still winless, but they did pick up a game last week. So is this the week? And then EGL hasn't played since the break, so they've had a lot of weeks of working on, team comps. They could have something new that we haven't really seen.
Yep.
Swain is insanely busted on this patch, and we know Vindy's a crazy Swain 80 carry enthusiast. And then also every week on the cast, we've been kind of talking about Caitlin's power in both. Vindy had a pentakill on Caitlin in one of the first weeks, and then Legit Camel, that's kind of his fallback 80 carry. So those are just some priority picks that got buffed in this patch and are extremely strong in solo queue. So keep an eye out for those. Otherwise, the patch was pretty small. We have Lilia.
Yeah, the new champion that came in.
Yeah,
hit and run champion.
She goes fast, but doesn't do a lot of damage. Maybe we'll see. Maybe we'll see someone play it. I think if she gets ahead. The thing about Lilia that I find enjoyable is she kind of like plays those mind games where she goes super fast, but she just feels so unrewarded.
Yeah,
so you just do no damage.
Yeah, played with her a couple games, and it feels so unrewarding in a way. Like, you go in, then you come out, you go back in again, and it's like.
But if they focus, you just die.
Yeah,
she has to build tank.
You're done.
And then she doesn't do any damage. So maybe someone has been playing her. I don't think, when new champions come out and they're not super OP on release, usually we get a little bit of a little bit of play time where people are testing different builds, and then like a patch later, she's going to get like an insane buff. And then people who have been figuring out what's really good on her are going to just be
Yeah.
she gets really strong. So still kind of in that early phase. People have been testing her, and top lane and jungle seem to be kind of like where she's going to be. I don't think she can make it in the mid lane. She's too squishy.
No, way too squishy. Not enough range either.
Yeah, she's like a mix of
I feel like
range.
a shorter mid-range than most mid-range champions.
Yeah, so she gets outranged and then has to go in. So that's no fun. And then another pick that we've been seeing week in, week out, Ornn got another little nerf. So after the not gaining instant health when he does purchase a health item, that was the last patch. I think he lost like 4 armor or something, which is important in these trades. And I mean, he still is the insane scaling champion that he always is, and gives basically free gold to your team with the item upgrades. So that's still the same. He still brings the same thing to the team comp. You just gotta watch out for those early lanes. Another trend that we've been seeing kind of in pro play is Renekton, especially in like the LPL,
is he
LCK.
back now?
He's like their go-to blind pick top laner. He really doesn't have any bad matchups except for like Quinn, and then so if you lock in Quinn, your team comp's going to be missing that initiation. You kind of have to rely on split push and stuff. So maybe look for that. I know. I don't know if either of these top laners really prioritize them, but I've been playing them. I've been kind of branching out since I never get to see Singed here. I got to play something new. I played a couple of Renekton games. I was trying to build my skill set with him too, and he does have a lot. I would say he's pretty difficult to play just because so many different combos and auto resets and stuff like that. You just got to pull those off right. And if you don't, you just look like you do nothing.
Right.
And you're like, this champion looks so much stronger when the pros play. I mean, he goes in and does so much damage. And then, so talking about last week, we had THE versus PTC, a nice 3-game series.
Yes,
we missed out on the 3-game series. Kind of games all over the place, some hit and miss, some fiestas. And
I thought PTC did pretty good. Like, they did well, their first game and their third game. I think their second game, that one was a little rough because I did do a VOD review last week, Wednesday. And, that one, I just felt like THE just really played on their mistakes that they did, and that's why THE was able to win that game. Yeah. So
and that's a key with these teams. Not hopefully, but EGL's been scrimming. I haven't heard too much about their scrims. I did hear Vindy's hasn't been able to get his Swain, so that's kind of the only inside scoop I have. But I know THE have been scrimming, and they've been playing really well in scrims.
Okay.
They played against FN, and they've had a really good performance actually taking the scrim against them. So when you see a team with no wins taking out the undefeated team in scrims, that's a good sign. That means they're trending in the right direction. And I believe this is going to be their last game today.
Yes,
so
it will be. THE's last game today.
What a day to get a W. Not that I just it means FN was screwing around.
You never know.
Could be, but that's still valuable practice time for them. So I don't think they would just throw it to the wind since these teams aren't getting a ton of scrims. One or maybe 2 a week. So if that's
and for you to fool around in scrims and to not take this seriously, that's
not
it's very, honestly, in my terms, pretty disrespect just because you're trying to play for something as well too and trying to get the most out of practice.
Yeah, exactly. So. And no one likes losing, so especially when it's against a team, mutual friends, you guys kind of know each other, go back and forth. You always want to win. Then you can give them some crap, give them a hard time. But yeah, so EGL, I wish I had some inside dirt on them. I got to start adding some of these guys so I can slide into their solo queues and spy on them a little bit. But the big picks I'm looking for, the 80 carries is what I'm going to be really focused on this game. Caitlyn is unreal. If she makes it through, there is a couple counter picks to her, but just the lane dominance she provides. Her buff was not insane. I think it was like a 2 or 3 AD buff, but with her extreme range, you can just kind of compound that. And, if you take 10 autos, that's 30 extra damage. Start adding crit in there, and it starts multiplying. It does get to an absurd level, and she kind of answers a lot of the champions that were strong in the last patch. Aphelios, Ashe, and especially in the early game, she really has a good answer. And Aphelios has really kind of taken a backseat in a lot of games because he lost the power of like the Runin's Hurricane with the Flamethrower. He was like just doing crazy AoE damage, and just some of those tune downs that weren't exactly intended for him.
Yeah.
So he's still a great champion and still provides something for the team comps, but he's not the one champion fits all that he was for 10 patches or whatever.
You're right. But I do still think Aphelios is still, you don't. Yeah, you pick him for damage, but I don't think really it's not really for his damage. It's just for his reliability.
Yeah, he can bring CC, wave clear, objective control.
It just stops a lot of things that you don't expect.
And the thing with Aphelios that I think he's best when picked into like a team comp with a lot of engage. Because if the enemy champions have to come into you, you just throw your turret down and you just start one-shotting them. But I think champions with longer range, like the Caitlyn, can really abuse them, and that's why his priority is probably going to be, a little bit less. I don't think either of these two teams do play him. I know the other FN and then PTC do have a higher priority on the Aphelios, so probably won't see him today unless Vindy's been in the lab just grinding Aphelios, just trying to figure out what all these guns do.
PTC pulled out the Senna pick last week, so that was really nice to see.
And I think Senna is one of those AD carries that are kind of forgotten about. Her damage profile isn't very high, but she scales super well empowers your support to really play different. Or if you're doing like the support on the Senna, that AD carry can play something like a Wukong, something like we've seen Heimerdinger in pro play, where you get that unique profile down there where you got a marksman plus a carry, and it's like, oh, this shouldn't work. But it feels really good when it goes well, but when it goes bad, Senna feels terrible. When she falls behind, she is just so bad.
That's true.
But I think the grass build on Senna is much better. Can't remember what. She can stack up that health, and then you can build like Frozen Mallet and Black Cleaver, and then you aren't like a hyper carry. Whereas Senna, when she first came out, she was really that lethality 80 carry, where her damage was like insane after two levels, and she was like autoing you from miles away. It was crazy. So that's another really good pick to highlight, because the 80 carry pools are kind of shared. So if someone has been practicing and branched out a little bit, that could be something that gives them the advantage. Elsewhere on the map, we've seen pretty standard picks for the meta. Jungle was something that was with THE especially, they were really on the Rek'Sai Jarvan train.
Solo Masons, that's what they're hoping for.
They want that early game power to kind of get them going in the right direction. So Jarvan, Rek'Sai were those go-to picks, but it's been expanding in the last couple of weeks. So see if Viz wants to challenge that. And I believe they were trading those two picks, these two teams, the first time they played. One team was on the Jarvan, one team was on the Rek'Sai. So another pool that's pretty shared, but these teams haven't played for like 6 weeks.
6 weeks.
So
the last time I saw them play was the second week I watched this circuit, and that was the last time I saw these two teams play together against each other.
So it's been a time. So obviously 6 weeks you can pick up new champions and stuff, especially with the meta changing and everything. So I'm not really sure what they're gonna pick.
I'm hoping to see, like, I was watching last week's game. I'm hoping to see the junglers kind of do a little bit more this game. Like Solo Mason did well. I forgot what did the Jarvan. I think he was on the Volibear.
Volibear is insane.
Yeah, so I want to see a little bit, like I was saying, I want to see him do a little bit more invading or be a little bit more active on the map. So I want to see how Viz does on this one, because I've seen him be active on the map when I've played against him before. So I want to see if he's going to challenge that. So.
Definitely. And Volibear is one of those junglers that can kind of take over the game. He builds full tank, but he does so much damage. He can turn off towers. He can really like take the game under his control and just invade. He kind of does it all while being tanky, which is what you kind of want in a jungler. And especially if one of these top laners are going to go off the tanks. We've seen most of our top laners default to tanks. The Maokai, the Ornns, Malphites. If someone is going off of that role and going more into a carry role, you kind of want engage damage in your in the jungle and support roles, so you can start a fight when you want to. So the Volibear kind of fits that perfectly. He can scrap with a lot of these junglers earlier, and then also scale into like a super tank where he just becomes massive. Pair him with a Lulu, like you ult in with Volley. Lulu ult him, he like takes up the whole scream.
And not even just Lulu, you have the Yuumi too that can just really rush him in there.
Yeah, and that's a combo that is just absolutely unreal. He just and that's a champion we haven't really seen too much.
No, we
Yumi.
haven't. And
I
she
think
just
we
got
saw her-
recently buffed a little bit.
Yeah, we saw her one game, I
Yep.
think, and it was paired with the Volibear.
Yes.
And
that
you
was
know,
PTC's game.
Yep,
I remember that
he
one.
just goes zoom and
Yep.
runs people down, stuns them, does a bunch of damage.
Yep.
And the thing with Yumi that I think is so interesting is I know a lot of AD carries hate playing with her because she just leaves them for a bruiser, but when she gets on those bruisers past laning phase, she's just so
It's
broken.
done.
And she
Yes.
just speeds them up, gives them a
Yep.
lot of agency. We saw Olaf be the main Yumi carrier for a long time, but now a lot of these other champions, you got the Wukongs, you got the Volibears, who can really get in there and then just enable her to stun like the whole team with their ultimate and then just speed boost, heal them, give Ardent Sensor, all these
Right.
buffs. It's a champion that's not very fun to play.
Right.
And I know a lot of people aren't the biggest fan of locking it in, but it is very strong, and maybe we'll see it today, and that could put
Be
a
an
team
interesting-
in the driver's
yeah.
seat. The thing with it is you really need a mobile AD carry, so something like the Ezreal
Yes.
paired with it, because she's not going to be with you and peeling
Right.
for you in the mid-late game. So
Right.
I think Ezreal's the best partner for her just because he's so safe. Otherwise, Kaylin is a good partner just because she's got the long range. But if someone gets on her, she's dead. So
That's true. That's true.
and that's where the Yumi gets to be a difficult champion to pilot is because
You need your team.
yeah,
That's
you
the
need your
thing.
team,
She's- I feel like she's kind of like an Ivory. You need your team to.
yep, and
to
she's
really help
got to
you.
fit into their team comp.
Yep.
You can't just lock in Yumi with whatever.
Right.
So we do have THE going to be on blue side for game one. They must have won the flip last time. I can't remember.
Remember we're not doing the flip
Oh
anymore?
yeah, that's what I mean. So I wonder who had side selection, if they picked blue side or if EGL picked red side, because that could kind of look or give us an insight at kind of what their plan is if they're looking for that counter pick or if there's a real priority pick that they're looking to grab
Yeah.
first, which could be that Caitlyn, which
Yeah.
could be that AD carry.
I like to see if they bait the Caitlyn though.
Yeah,
What's gonna happen?
Yeah, if they leave Caitlyn open, and they have a counter pick for it
That's 'cause
ready.
these teams know each other pretty well.
Yeah,
so.
and they've probably played with each other, talked
Yeah.
about what they think about the meta and stuff. So
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see, and I'm excited. Hopefully, we have some really good games, some exciting,
Yeah, I
some
am.
scrapping.
Me too. Yep. I'm really hoping for THE to pull this one off. Really am.
So who are you gonna predict? We're gonna do some predictions.
I think THE, coming off at least one game roll from last week, I think, if they can carry that on to this game, I think they have a potential of maybe, pulling this game off.
So you're taking THE.
Yeah, I'll take THE.
I'm gonna take THE too. So we're either gonna cast or curse them, or
I know,
both
right?
be geniuses. We win-win. It's a win-win situation. So, no offense, EGL. I just want to see them get a W.
I want to see them get a W too.
Yeah.
I do.
and
Let's be biased on this one.
I didn't say it yet, but we could see a singed pick. I've been branching out, but I have to mention it every week.
Right.
At least
And the
once.
Swain gets banned.
Instantly
we
banned.
called that one.
And then Nico has
Nico.
been pretty much permanently banned against
For Padawan,
THE.
it's-
Padawan's
yeah.
a Nico main. The champion is very good at controlling fights. She's very similar to Lilia, whereas she has to get in there, but she gets a shield, and that's
Yeah.
sometimes all you need. She
Yeah.
can stun instantly, whereas Lilia has to wait the 2 seconds,
Yeah.
and then they get stunned, and it just feels very weird.
So that's okay. So
Ezreal, so one of those 80 carries coming off. Kaylin's open so far. We'll see if she does get hit with the.
Man.
So now the tiers of both these players 80 carries kind of drops, and I'll be interested to see. I know Legit Camel is a Kalista player, and she's been very strong in the meta for a while. And then Set has been a priority pick for a lot of these players. We've seen Soul
Yeah.
Mason on this jungle set, and there's really mixed feelings about how jungle Set is. Some people think it's extremely
Right.
broken, and other people think it's completely useless. I think Set's best role is in the support role, but I do think jungle
yeah, that's
is
where I
pretty
kind
good.
of go against that one.
Yeah?
I don't.
You don't
I
like
just don't
support
like
set?
the support set.
I think
it
it's
feels
so good.
It feels so weird.
Yeah, and it does. And then we see Rumble coming in. Could be a mid or top lane. We've
Yeah.
kind of seen it go away from jungle for a while there. It was a jungle viable pick, but hasn't been recently. So, and Rumble is a really interesting pick because he can get that lane prio with his Q early, and
Yes.
then you can really control Scuttle Crabs, and then kind of empower your jungler to get vision and then get some invades.
Yeah, he just does so much damage.
Yeah, and then once they get 6, and then Graves, that's another one of those junglers that is absolutely
nuts,
disgusting. And a lot of the Graves we've been seeing going away from Flash, they've been going towards the Ignite.
Yep.
Just for 1v1, they go into the jungle, and then with mid-prio from Rumble, they can just go in there and say, are you going to give me all your camps, or am I going to kill you and then take all your camps?
Yep.
So,
oh, Kha'Zix.
And Kha'Zix is also really strong too.
He got that buff.
He is very, very good. Oh, Lilia, are we going to see it? I doubt it, but I think the Kha'Zix pick would be very good. He's one of the junglers who can duel Graves. Dodging the Q would be very helpful, but if he doesn't dodge it,
he's able to kill Graves fast enough without the.
Yeah, exactly. If there's not enough stacks of the grit on. Is it grit? What's his E passive? Whatever gives him armor for Graves.
It's the
if he doesn't have it stacked, I think Kha'Zix does win it as long as they're isolated. In a 2v2, it's a little bit more Graves favored, but if it's a 1v1 with the isolation damage being improved so much, and then we see the Tristana coming in, and then Ashe, those two AD carries are kind of like the next tier.
Right.
Ashe has been very good. For a while there, she had like a 54% win rate in solo queue, and I am interested to see, will we see Muramana Ashe or Muramana Tristana? And I swear in all my solo queue games, everyone just has a Muramana. It drives me absolutely insane because the item is just not that good mid game, and then you're down like 20 kills, and then you get your power spike.
Deadpool Gambit explained it to me when I was talking to him. He said Muramana is just great because you don't run out of mana, but the other thing is just the on hit stuff. Like that's where that damage is coming in. When you build it up, that's what he.
But what about Blade of the Rune King?
That's true too, but I'm just saying.
No, I know why it's good, but it just. Giving yourself like less of a power spike in the early game just feels so bad for me. Like
that's me too.
Yeah,
I would
and there
agree with
are
that.
the champions like Ezreal who really excel with it, but then we see it like going on the Kai'Sa. I don't even really like it on the Kai'Sa. I think the serrated Dirk into BF sword build is much better. Just because you get a much bigger power spike early, sure, your late game isn't as crazy, but if you're out of the game by late game, you don't ever get to that point. And having those, with dragons being so important in this meta, having those early game spikes and kind of getting control, especially in the bot lane, that's why I just really have a hard time with 80 carries sacrificing that early power for that Muramana. And it drives me nuts. I'm guilty of it too. I played a Muramana Fiora game, I'm not gonna lie. It did not go well. But
Leona comes through.
Yep, and that's one of the supports that early in the season we really thought were like was like S+ tier, and it's really fallen off. But Lulu into it can deal with it as long as they dodge the E. If the E lands by Leona, it's going to be very difficult for them to disengage. They do have the polymorph and stuff like that, but Leona goes in, Triss jumps on top. Who are you going to polymorph? Are you going to polymorph the CC or the damage? So as long as it's playing. Oh, and Ahri. I was actually talking about Ahri yesterday. She's very kind of in this very good spot right now where she's mobile. She can pick off like these champions like the Graves, like the Kha'Zix, that are the junglers that really want to get aggressive. She also gets lane prio, and I think she will have like advantage in the mid lane over the Rumble. Rumble into a lot of champions just because of his AoE can push the wave very efficiently, and Ahri's in the same boat. And then we're going to see last pick jungle.
Ooh, Gragas.
So and it's going to be the set top or Gragas top. I mean, Gragas got a buff.
Gragas got a nice buff.
Yeah,
AP buff.
I don't think he really needed it. He was in a pretty okay spot before. But obviously Gragas players will take it.
Yep. Orianna wouldn't be a bad pick into this with all the amount that they have the dives in.
Yeah, and Orianna's kind of like the safe mid laner.
Yep.
But that means then Rumble's going to be going in the top lane.
Yep.
So Set's going to want to itemize MR because he's against the Rumble Orianna top side. But then Graves gets to be in a very good spot.
Yes.
If the enemy team is itemizing mostly magic resist, Graves can just absolutely tear through people. So and then on the flip side, Set Ahri being on the top side is a good damage profile. You throw in the Gragas. I'm interested to see if he's going to be going AP or more of the tanky supportive build. Generally we see full AP.
Yes. Because he does so much damage in his full AP. It's nuts.
And people don't you don't want to if you're focusing down a Gragas, it feels bad. So And then we also with the initiation of the Ashe, I do really like the team comp for THE. EGL's team comp is equally as good. They just don't have that go button besides the Leona, where they have the Ashe, the Gragas, the set.
Yeah.
They kind of have more agency to start fights and kind of dictate how the pace of play is going to be.
Everything's reliant on Pai to engage on this one.
Yeah, or like a equalizer in the back
Yes.
line and kind of make them pick
The skirmish,
if they're
yeah.
leaving. That ultimate paired with the Orianna could turn out to be just like a team fight ender.
That's
You
true.
throw the equalizer down on top of the shockwave.
That's true.
The team fight could just be over.
Yeah.
The Graves really has to get agency in this game, though. I look for them to empower him and get him ahead, because if he doesn't get ahead, I think their damage profile with just the Trist is still good, but they're not going to be able to take those 2v2s, and that's something that with the Graves you really want to be able to abuse, especially with Orianna. Good laner, pushes the wave with her auto attack. She's got her passive. She's gonna probably not have lane prio until she gets the first blue
6,
buff.
yeah.
And once she gets blue buff, Orianna can push really efficiently, but Ari with her Q doing true damage is just so good at getting prio and
I feel like
getting
Ari
on the
just might
map.
have better map control if played right. So.
Yeah, I think Ari's better in the laning phase. Orianna's better in the team fighting, which is a nice little trade-off, so we can see if both these teams play to those power spikes and play to their strengths. And then Set in the top lane is very good. I mean,
he's always been good.
Yeah, and people kind of forgot about him in top lane. You don't see it too often. Like, he's really been kind of going into those other roles more, but he's still strong.
Yep.
If people stand there and get punched in the face, he's going to do a lot of damage, and then takes the Conqueror. Blade of the Rune King is very good on him. And then tank, obviously, because he does more damage the more health he has.
Yep.
And Lulu Ashe is a good 2v2. I think as long as they avoid the all-in,
I hope they
should
play
win.
this one better this game. They tried this, I think, against FN. It didn't go so well.
Yeah.
So I want to see if they can pull this one off.
Yeah,
So.
and with the Ashe arrow, they have the agency to go in. Triss can dodge it, but they can kind of just pick on this Leona. If Leona isn't able to snowball their bot lane, she can really just get abused. Lulu poking her down, Ashe throwing in autos, and you can kind of keep her at bay. So if she wants to engage, she has to engage at half health, and then it makes the 2v2 much easier.
Right.
So yeah, and I stick with my prediction, taking THE with the team comps, mainly because of that go button. I think easy access to engage is so important. And then the bot lane control with that. Once Ashe is 6, they kind of get control of bot lane indefinitely. So Dragon control, I've been... in the beginning of the season, I didn't value it as much, but the more I play and the more I watch, the more important Dragons are. It kind of seems like one team takes over the dragon area and they just win the game because they get to that 3 dragon point and they're like, okay, you have to fight us or you lose the game.
True. That's true. I just think if my cousin and I were talking about it, I think if they're able, if both teams, like one get dragon, one get herald, we haven't seen that a whole lot, right?
We've kind of seen one team monopolize
dragon, right? So if they can find that trade, find the equality, then I don't think it's going to be that bad. But you're right for sure. If at the 3rd dragon, you have to fight for that 3rd dragon, and no matter what. It has to.
The game is going on this fight. Hopefully, we don't miss smite. So
if you lose the first 2 dragons, you better get the 3rd dragon. Because if you get, then it's kind of hard after that.
Yeah, and then you are playing on a timer. You're on a timer then.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, the trade between Rift Herald and Dragon is very good. But when we saw teams early in the season try and do the trade, they would take their bot lane up and go towards the Rift Herald. So then they would be losing the gold and experience from the wave. So then they're getting golden experience from the Rift Herald, but it's kind of like an even trade. So I used to be on the side of getting the Rift Herald and prioritizing that, but as of late I've switched. I've switched to the Dragon team.
See, I'm still on the Rift.
You're on the Rift.
At least for the first two dragons that come up, at least the Rift.
Yep.
The first 2, because then you get the early gold.
Yep.
And then you can, once you get the early gold and your lanes are doing okay, then your 3rd dragon.
Maybe I'm just really bad at using early gold. So probably going to see a 5 points here. None of the teams are really super strong at level 1.
No.
Unless they want to go in as 5 for an invade. But yeah, we just see a standard 5-point start here.
30 seconds until
Both
minions
junglers in the center. I'm interested to see the jungle paths. I think they're both going to start bot and path towards the top side. But Gragas could start on blue and then be at bot lane for the level 2 when Leona and Triss hit level 2 and want to go in. So if Gragas is there for that, to swing it to a 3v2, that could honestly end the lane right there.
I think you want Gragas to avoid the 1v1 against the Graves.
Yep.
Just, yeah.
Yeah, because if Graves gets on Gragas, it's no fun.
It's no fun.
Gragas looks like he should be tanky, but he's pretty squishy in the early game. Especially if a Graves gets on him. Did he take the Ignite? He did take Ignite Smite,
okay, so he's gonna...
Graves is going to look to tango.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be EGL's win con, is Viz getting ahead and using this ability. And you see him actually going to be starting red buff. And the other thing with Graves, why he's so good, is he can do leashless.
Yeah.
But we see Solo Mason starting bot side, and he might run into Graves at blue buff.
That's what I'm wondering. I wonder if he's going to do the red and then go straight to blue.
And with this, with taking Smite, I would have liked to see EGL with the 5-mana invade to get information so they could guarantee this play. Sure, they're happen to start bot lane, but it's kind of a guess right now. So if Graves goes into their jungle, but we see him pathing towards his bot lane. And with that early information, they could have forced that and made it happen and say, we're going to fight here, and hopefully we kill you. And then Graves would just have a Jungle Kingdom. Diffy in the Jiffy, as they say nowadays. Yeah, Ashe has very good level 1. W is insane on Ashe. He took the lethal tempo. So
is that what he took?
Yeah, and I think that's standard. I'm not too familiar.
Nice trade,
nice trade by Padawan. Ahri lands that charm, gets the bonus damage. It's very good. We see the all-in by Set. He's just so oppressive, especially in the early levels. His health regen is so good, and building the Dorn Shield is extremely good on Set and against Rumble, so it kind of fulfills the two things. The damage over time procs Dorn Shield very efficiently, and then Set's passive with his bonus health regen.
Early game?
And just a little bit of a mistiming, but he should go down here.
No,
he's going to live with the shield.
I think flashes are down for both.
Yeah, Padawan already flashed for the engage.
Yeah. If he hit the charm, Ahri would have been dead right there.
Yeah, I think he was waiting for Gragas to initiate it first. But just a little bit of a miscommunication there, where the body slam hit farther, or didn't knock him back as far as I think Ahri had thought. But both sums going down here for both mid laners, so look for the junglers to kind of beeline there. And until Ahri is 6, she really has no mobility without that flash. So the Graves gets on her. Could be no fun for her.
No.
And I didn't see if she had the new Spirit Blossom skin, or if that's even out.
No, that's KDA.
But yeah, and then we see Gragas coming back, with a flash body slam, but they are afraid of this Graves because he does a lot of damage, and we see the burst there. He just runs up, ignites, and paired with Phase Rush,
nice done.
He doesn't need flash. Once he gets his combo off, he is just so fast that he can just DPS him down. And we saw him get the second dash by using his auto attacks efficiently, and then just burn him down with red buff and ignite. And that's why that combo is so good. Especially on Graves. You see other people trying to make it work on champions, but it just isn't the same. And we see a good exit trade by Rumble. I thought Set was going to run away with that trade, but he didn't get a good haymaker trade. He hadn't taken any damage, so that's much more impactful when he has the big shield and gets to smack him in the face with like 500 true damage. So
no, I agree with that. I think the trades are pretty even up top, so it's not too bad.
Yeah, and I really like Solo Mason's play so far. Although he didn't get the kill mid lane, he did repeat gang after his sums.
Yes.
Graves had the counter gank. Graves just brings more damage. He was in the right place at the right time for that counter gank, but just having the agency of being there and trying to take the trade. Yeah, and we see another really close trade between these two top laners.
He missed the stun though. And if he had got the stun, then
he didn't get the this double part of the set pull. I think is what triggers the stun. So, and Gragas is up here. He has no. And we see a trade of flashes, but he still might actually go down. But Set does not have his. My
double kill!
Rumble gets the shield from his W and
dodges the Q too.
He dodges the sweet spot from the Set, and that was just absolute tragedy.
Graves gets first dragon.
Yeah, so now that Graves has the
nicely
kill
done.
lead,
Yep.
and Gragas is a little bit behind, look for this XP gap to just balloon. Graves can just power farm, and then when he gets a level lead, he can just go into the jungle,
Yep.
and Rumble's going to be strong now, and they can just take blue quadrant
Yep.
from blue side, and Graves can
That's
just
what I'm
say-
saying. I'm really hoping for Graves to really hurt this Gragas right
Yeah.
now just because of how far ahead he is.
Yeah, Gragas has been playing well. He's been trying to have his
Yep.
plays, but just a little overzealous on that play. We saw top laners trade flashes. Gilio played it really well, flashing out of the flash facebreaker by the set. But then just diving the tower early with no like resistances. And,
Yeah,
you
they
know,
took him down, what, 2 hits, 3 hits,
yeah,
basically?
he took 2 or 3 hits, and then but we see him still on the aggressive, and
And that's good, though.
that's good. Yeah, we want to see him doing that, but he can't fall too far behind Graves.
Right.
Graves is power
Right.
farming, and he picked up a kill. So we see Gragas going down 0-1. He's already down 10 CS. But we see a freeze coming out here, and that's one thing Set can do into the Rumble is he can freeze. But I think his wave's bigger. I didn't get a chance to see the
You
full.
know, Set's still ahead in the farm, but, you know,
Yeah,
that double
kill
really put him-
helped. And we see Set actually TPing back in the lane. He had to because if he misses that big wave that Rumble stacked up after getting the double kill,
Right.
he's going to be way behind and lose the possibility to scrap with this Rumble. And once that happens, Rumble can really just run up and just do what he wants.
Run
So
away with the lane.
Rumble does have TP to affect either the next dragon and or a bot lane fight, but Alex kind of had to take that TP.
Yeah.
I think that was a must.
It
So,
was needed.
and he is ahead of CS because of it, but look for Gilio to really use this 2-kill
Yeah.
lead. He got the Sork shoe, so he's going to be doing a lot of damage to these champions with no MR. And with the TP advantage, look for him to use it proactively. I would like to see a ult or a TP bot lane and just ult right on the Ashe and the Lulu, and then
Right.
try and get Tristana rolling. Because if Tristana gets ahead of the Ashe Lulu and the Leona can go in freely, and that really helps their bot side of the map. And with the first dragon, they can look to get dragon control and go for that soul.
Yeah, I kind of want to see what that is going to look like.
Yeah, and I didn't see which dragon was spawning next, so I what is air
Looks
dragon?
like air
So we're
dragon.
gonna have mountain or mountain or ocean. So
Yeah.
2 really good souls.
Nice. Oh.
Yeah, we see that. This is what I was talking about. If Leona has the ability to go in, it makes it much harder, but they
That
didn't
was
have
a
the
little close
damage.
to turret, though. That's
Yeah.
the thing. If it was maybe more outside of turret range,
Yep.
it would have been different.
But if they had a lead, that would have been a kill.
That's true,
And
too.
that's why it's very important for this bot lane to not fall behind. And we see Rumble dropping the equalizer just to push this in. Probably looking for a nice cheater recall. He
Nice
did. Oh, and
ulti.
Ashe Arrow comes down, and Pai Pai actually takes one for the team. He takes the charm for Triss, but she still ticks down to Ignite.
Yes.
And a very good roam. Ari using that lane pressure
Yep.
we had talked about in Champ
But that's
Select.
what we need.
Yep,
That's what they
and-
really
and
needed.
That's what Ari is there for. Oriana's there for the team fights. Ari needs to use that mid lane pressure to get on the roam, and we see this turning around. And if this bot lane falls behind, and Gragas still wants to go in, just shy of the charm though. But Graves is here, and he misses the Q.
He has a little bit
There was a wall there, but they're on the wrong side of the map.
Yeah.
They're kind of trapped here. If the other team
Turns
wants to
into a
fight.
4v3.
Yeah, and Rumble, instead of using his ult proactively, he kind of has to bail out his teammates. And now we see Set up here just free farming. He's going to get plates. He's probably going to equalize that 2-kill lead with these waves. This wave's going to go to tower. And I believe he'll be able to get the next plate unless he has a recall that he wants to do. So Graves really
not staying for the second plate.
and this is just a tempo thing. He doesn't want to lose the next wave. Oh, and some Alcove gameplay. Everyone hold on to your horses. Oh, that was it.
That was
Very
it,
good
dude.
inclusion
That
to the
was it.
Rift.
Those alcoves, they become somewhat useful, but at the same time, very useless.
Yeah, Alcove is one of the better additions, I'll say. But he's really using that. That's kind of like a cheater recall. So he got the plates, and we see Rumble here. He just TP'd bot, walked top. Now he's recalling. Just questionable use.
Yeah,
and I think if Graves doesn't cue the wall right in front of him and hits the enemy champion, he gets phase rush and he can run them down and ignites up.
Yeah.
I think he kills them.
Yeah.
And then that's a much different play because Rumble doesn't have to TP then.
Yep.
So Rumble can keep this top lane kingdom going.
Yep.
And then, so just a little bit of a oopsies. There's a wall there.
That's what I felt like, yeah.
And it looks so satisfying when Graves like cues a wall right there, but it doesn't do anything.
Right.
It looks
second
cool.
drag goes to EGL.
Yeah, so Graves really using this 1v1 advantage that he has. And we see Rumble coming down, and they're going to be trading it. So THE's doing the rift here.
Which is good.
And they didn't have to move their bot lane up for it, and that's the key. If they don't, I think rift is very valuable. But this Ocean Soul is going to be very good. And if he lands a charm, and he does. So now, Set can just ult him back. And that brings him out of danger there with the ult back into the team. He's not... If he ults him the other way, he's stuck.
Yeah, he's still stuck.
So blowing the flash by Alex was a very good play because he got to come back to his team. It's kind of like an insect kick, but you don't have to suicide for it. So it's very good, and that's what THE really needed. They can't let Graves run over, but we see the great roam by the bot lane for EGL, and Leona gets on top of the Ahri. She didn't have R, and she did flash, but it was after she was kind of already caught out. So. And without being able to go over the wall there, I think she dies always there, but they're going to be trading this for XP and plates. So Ashe and Lulu are getting to that point where they can really fight off the Leona and the Triss. And that's the key. As long as they can't, Triss can't freely just jump in whenever she wants. This bot lane is much better. We see Orianna actually TPing down and blowing the flash by Ashe.
They're really forcing these fights down here.
Yeah, and they're kind of answering the pressure from Gragas earlier. Once they got a couple items, they're just looking to scrap in the bot lane. They're using their TPs kind of proactively, like proactively, but not efficient proactivity.
I would say not efficiently, but they're using it to put pressure on the map.
Yeah, and with Dragon Control, you want this bot lane to have priority, and that's the key. Priority is key, always. Just remember that. If you're losing in the jungle, it's because your team has no priority.
That's truth, though. That's so true.
And a lot of people don't realize it, but not being able to farm your camps is no fun. So
I see a four-man.
And we see because of this TP to the bot, they're going to be able to stack the wave and get a 4-man dive here. And Graves kind of walking up, and this is why Lulu's so good. And with being even, and Orianna going to come in with the shockwave, and holy
so much damage.
Graves is pretty strong.
Yeah.
But Ahri comes over and actually trades the kill. So it's a 2-for-1, and Solo Mason's actually up here, and he's just he gets his revenge for the early dive. And
Orianna's stuck in.
Yeah, Orianna's on the wrong side of the map again. And this is where Set's good. He can just run at her.
But she has the speed boost.
Yeah, phase rush. It's not the phase rush Set, so he doesn't get to go fast. He did take Conqueror, which is more common in the top lane. But Gragas getting that kill and the shutdown is really interesting. I don't know how that happened unless Rumble saw Set TP down and thought, oh, this is my chance to push and get tower. And we're just going to see, the corrupting potion actually saves him there. Her. I don't know if her secondary is the one Time Warp Atomic where she gets the extra HP. But if it is, that just saved her life. But we saw the power of Graves in that dive. Orianna used the ultimate, and then Graves ulted, and just imagine later when Rumble layers his ultimate on there, it can just wipe the entire team, and no matter what the lead is, that can, as long as they're not super tanky, and that's where the Mountain Dragon would have really hurt EGL's comp, because just a little bit of MR and armor would have gone a lot farther. But because it's Ocean Soul, they don't have to worry about that. We saw the Lux 2 weeks ago just kind of get nullified, even being 6-0 because of three Mountain Drakes. And that's something that you really have to play on. So still going back and forth. We do see Tristana pick up the 2 kills from the roam mid. And even in levels, we see Pai actually being level up on Lulu, on Storyteller, even though they hit the roam to the mid, and we've seen THE's bot lane be mostly stationary. So, and we see Viz cue the wall again.
So much damage from
yeah,
Ari.
Ari returns back since she dodged the Q and then doesn't get hit by, or doesn't enable Graves to
and
proc
the miss
his
ulti. Ooh.
Yeah, that was interesting. So
Nice
and an arrow from downtown.
Ooh, that was beautiful.
And the flash.
Oh, wow.
Everyone just landed their skills very well, and THE
really
punishes them for overstepping.
Yes.
Biz comes in, he uses his Q, he hits the wall again, doesn't proc phase rush, and then they're kind of caught out, and Legit Cam will ults from downtown, snipes him in the mid lane, and right when Set is moving in, and now they can take this dragon for free and extend this game, and now they're looking really good. They got the Rift Herald, they got the tempo, and now they have a gold
All they
raid.
have to do is push bot lane, get the first tower maybe. It's already really low.
Yep, or even mid, but I think Rumble's actually going to be working on it up here. So Set with the rump to mid.
Oh, a little greedy on
it stays a little bit long, and he's just going to go down. And this is what they can't have happen. Triss can't get out of control. Otherwise, they don't really have a good answer to him besides the RE. But landing a charm on a Tristana is not the easiest thing to do. But that's the only real answer they have. Otherwise, she can kind of jump in and jump out as she pleases. And Triss is very good at taking towers. And that's something that a lot of people forget about, is that she just kind of mows them down, similar to like a Ziggs. And then with top lane falling down, they can move these guys into the mid lane and really just start opening up the map. But we see Gragas Predator down here, but it is countered, so there is 4 members of EGL here as well. So this is actually a really close game. We see EGL with the gold lead with that first tower, even though Ari is extremely fed, and Padawan has been popping off. In all the games I've been watching, he's playing very well. And yeah, that's great. Even on a pick like Ari, who is traditionally very hard to play because you land the charm, you do a lot of damage. You miss the charm, you don't do a lot of damage. You still do like decent, but it's not the same. It's like the one-shot potential when you land the charm. So looking at Solo Mason, he's getting control of Rift Herald right here. They are looking to get that to answer this pressure because with the tower starting to fall, and we see Ashe solo down here. Ori's just caught up.
Very good pick.
Yeah, not even needing to flash a body slam there. She just kind of face checked, and we see Lulu dropping the ult here, and she's all by herself. I was nervous for that fight. I thought they were going to kind of stalemate, and I saw Triss going down. And now that Triss has the IE, she can just jump on Ashe and force the Ashe arrow out almost any time they have a 1v1. But Rumble is very good in this choke. So if he lands a good equalizer here, this definitely could be a close fight. But Alex comes in and absolutely 3-man showstopper right there. And he is going to get answered by the Tristana. So they do get a kill back, but for Orianna and Trist, and probably the Rift Herald. But this Rumble is doing a lot of damage. He is low. He's kind of playing with fire here.
The Orianna's back a lot.
Yeah, and Orianna TP's in, but she's eating charms like it's her job. And like we said, if Ari lands the charm, she does a lot more damage than if she misses it. So
the Ari is really keeping them in this game, though, for what it looks like. The amount of damage, the roaming, the map presence that she has.
And she's landing the picks. She's getting the picks and enabling THE on these objectives. And kind of nullifying the Graves pressure by with those picks. Whereas if they weren't getting these picks, I think this game would have gotten out of hand. But she's really enabling, and she did go for the Spooky Ghost with a hose. I don't know the name, but the water hose and the Spooky Ghost. So she's going to be slowing like the whole team.
I think it's the Hextech GLP like 400 or something like that.
Yeah, Super Soaker. But that is going to be lessen her damage, but enable her to get these picks.
But, it really helps her with that. So it's gonna be good.
So she's trading off damage, and she is ahead, so she's going to be doing the damage already to enable her team to get these picks. And that really, with that AoE slow, Set can get into position. That's Set's biggest weakness is he doesn't have the gap closer. He can run at him fast, but if he has a slowed target and can make the play where he face breakers and then take one of those members, whoever is the most problematic at this point, Tristana, and pull him into their team. That's just such a good synergy between the two. And then you throw in and legit Camel.
The Ash
Kate
takes
says,
the
"This is
blue."
my blue buff. Get out of here."
I think there's some miscommunication there, though. So
Yeah, that's a tilter. That's a FF. If I'm Ari hard carrying and my 80 carry slides in and steals my blue buff, I am. Yeah, that's tough.
hey, there might be some strategy to this, but there's no mirror man on the Ash.
Yeah, mirror
You
man.
have to say that. No mirror man on the Ash.
But he took the blue like he had it. But, okay. But I am happy to see no mirror mana. And they've been using it well in this mid game. And just imagine if she had the Murmana here. She would have a lot less damage. She hasn't been doing a whole lot of damage, but I think Trish just runs over her even harder if she has the Murmana. So
forcing the
Alex just running in. And here's the wombo we were talking about. Holy moly. We saw a 3-man.
What he was doing there.
Yeah, I think he just thought it was a couple, but their whole team is here, and now they're going to lose Ocean Dragon. So Alex runs in, and he kind of baits his team because Ash and Lulu weren't there.
Yeah.
So Orianna just put the ball in there and ulted them on top of the equalizer, on top of the ultimate from Graves. And they just all evaporated.
Right.
Kind of what we were talking about.
Yep.
And even if Ash or Lulu was there, there's no.
They can't
that
get
doesn't
out of
go
that.
any different because they can't run away because they're going to the equalizer, and they kind of force the team, funnel the team into the ultimate from Orianna and Graves.
Yeah, so you know that fight. How do I say it? If Alex didn't do that fight, right? You know, THE would still be somewhat in the lead, but with that fight, that changes the game around.
Yeah, because now they're on that sole point.
Right. So, like you said, it's a ticking time bomb.
Yeah.
You know?
Now they have to get the next dragon, otherwise the game's on a timer. If they get the next dragon, THE, they extend the game 5 minutes. But Ocean Dragon soul is so oppressive just because you can take these extended fights and you just
the
heal.
regen and healing.
And especially with a team like Rumble, Graves, Orianna, with the Triss jumping in, they can wait until they have the perfect fight. And Ari had the agency, and we talked about agency. Ari having the charm, Ash, Arrow, Gragas engage. But if they have Ocean Dragon, that kind of becomes less viable because they can wait for a perfect fight and not get engaged on. If they do get engaged on, they throw the Orianna ball down, and they have to run through it. And Orianna she's 0-2 right now, but she has the 7 assists, and she's actually winning in CS here. So she is getting strong. She's got one core item.
Her utility is the biggest thing.
Yeah, look for her to pick up another big AP item to really make these shockwaves hurt.
Don't do it.
Yeah, we see him blurring the flash. I think that was a good choice because Graves does a lot of damage, as we've seen.
With the link.
And we see Alex going for the Death's Dance next. I think that's a very good pick. He picks up the Aegis, which gives him some armor and MR, which in this matchup against the Rumble is going to help him a lot. And yeah, we see these punches starting to really hurt. And Rumble not being afraid. He's turning and fighting him. And and they trade flashes again. Last time Rumble got a double kill off this, and Rumble really just kind of styling on him there.
Playing very smart.
Yeah,
like
he did burn the flash, as Risket says, burned him down after flashing. So Rumble's been playing this very well, and he's getting out of control. He's got the Leandras, he's got the Oblivion Orb, so his burst damage is very strong, and there's not a whole lot of MR on the other team. They have the Aegis from Set, but Set's been getting worked.
Yeah, I don't know what his mindset is, right? So
yeah,
some of his decision making is hurting the team a little bit. That's what I'm feeling like. But
yeah, I think he wins that in most scenarios, but Gilio just played it so well. And those early kills,
very patient there.
Yeah, he dodged the face breaker and the haymaker. I mean, not face breaker. He dodged the true damage and he got out of the way.
He did.
And then after that,
helps him out too. So.
After that, he could turn and fight.
Yeah.
It looked like Set was just going to run him down and kind of kill him, but yeah, Rumble playing absolutely great, and this Rumble pick is very good.
It's been strong for them.
And hopefully, his TPs weren't that great. In the mid game, he kind of lost his lead after the double kill was kind of donated to him. But he's really picked it back up 4-1-1, and along with Trist, Graves, Orianna, they really have the wombo combo, and he's kind of that pseudo engage. He doesn't have like hard engage, but if you drop the equalizer down and they're all slowed and burning and taking a lot of damage, and then Leona Triss can follow up, like that's
a scary fight.
In a perfect world, he always has that pseudo engage, but if he's not ahead, it's not as threatening. Where Leona was their only engage, now they kind of have a second engage option with him being so ahead, and he can play a little greedy. And Set has TP advantage, so I would really like to see him in the top lane opening up this map, but he is going for that engage, and we see all the engage coming out from THE, and Leona just survives a very long time, and not the best equalizer. Allows THE to get out, but we see Graves just running in, and we see why he's so good. But Set takes him into the back line, and he dodges the Haymaker, so Set's damage really falls off if he doesn't land that ability. And now Ari and
they just wasted everything on that Leona too, so that really turned that fight around.
And Leona lived so long. Aftershock is such a good ability, or good keystone, which enabled her to survive, and then really split the team fight where there was Set and was it Gragas in the backline trying to pick up those kills, and they were just running into a Rumble who was just kiting them back, and then Triss got there and Orianna got there, and they were just able to finish them off and just kind of even out take the lead. And like we said, this is Seoul. There's no Graves, and there it goes.
So that fight, all they had to do was, if I had to change that fight around, just fight for the ward, fight for the vision, play for it.
And like we said, there was a timer on this Soul, and they have to fight either there or at the Dragon and win the fight. But they were just so split, and Ari is still popping off. She's 8-3. Play around her, I think. You don't have to go so hard that your team is so spread, so spread out, especially with the game on the line. We saw Set go into the backline with Gragas, and they weren't able to kill anyone. They don't have the damage, and EGL has been playing these fights very well. I don't think a sweet spot has been hit since laning phase by the Set, so that true damage really drops off the damage profile for Set. If he gets that true damage, he does a lot of burst damage, but if it's just the regular or no damage at all from that ability, he's not as strong, and he's going into a super fed Rumble, which makes it
very hard.
Yeah, and he has the Merc Treads and the Death Stance, but that's not a lot of MR. So
he is,
and Orianna and Rumble do a lot of damage. Even though Orianna's not that fed, she still does a crap ton of damage.
Her combo is insane, and you add on top of the burn, and then on top of just staying in there because of the Leona ult, it's.
And we see just like the damage difference. They have Graves, Rumble, Orianna, Triss, just a lot more damage where THE has the engage, but some of these fights, it just takes so long to burn through Leona, burn through some of these targets where they're just getting killed faster. And there's not much they can do about it. Now with Ocean Soul, they can take a short trade. Oh, and we see the Ash Arrow coming in with the TP from Set. And that's what they needed. So they get onto the Tristana.
They got the Tristana.
But now, where is the Rumble? That's the key, and he's running away.
Rumble was from jungle. Rumble was trying to flank from the jungle, but that was not a bad. That was a good.
That was a great TP, and they can look towards Baron. And this is the opening they have. If they get Baron, they have 2.5 minutes to push their advantage and try and get some control over this game. Great TP by Alex, and he pulls the Triss into the backline. Like we kind of said, combined with the spooky ghost from Ari, that enables her to grab her and just bring her back. And then without that 6 and 2 Triss, their damage really falls off. And then Rumble was not in there for the fight, but we see the equalizer coming in, and that is just burning everyone. They have the Baron debuff, so they do take increased magic damage, but I think Graves can get in here and do some work if he wants. But, oh, he doesn't have flash, and that's the problem with taking this Ignite. He could go for the steal, but
so TG gets in. That was a good flash all.
Flash face breaker by Alex, and Rumble just kind of caught out. But Orianna flanks, and he's feeling himself. He uses the ultimate, but Set just turns on him and punches him in the face. And we see a really split team fight here. Set is trying to 3v1, but he's just going to get burned down by the Orianna. The Shockwave is great.
EGL didn't even let him breathe after Baron, man.
Yeah, they went right to it, and then they turned right on him because they knew there wasn't all the members there, and the equalizer was down. Just a little bit of mismanagement by EGL with the cooldowns, but they still do have Soul, and they can push in here. Set is down, and he's the main engage they have. They do have Arrow and the Charm by Ari, but this is where you can kind of see the Ari start to struggle. Ocean Dragon is kind of going to just regen that hope. So unless she lands a Charm 100-0, they can just disengage. So they are going to be looking for this hard engage, and luckily their team has a lot of it.
Right.
So they can just go in and they can start a fight when they want. It's just, do they want to start a fight being down?
So they didn't take inhib. Okay.
Oh, yeah, they were only
I was
able to
hoping
get
that they
through
would
the-
take inhib just to put more pressure, because then you're letting them come back with a Baron buff. Even though it's 2-man Baron buff, you still have the power of the minions to challenge that.
Yeah, that was interesting, and they have Equalizer up. They have all their ultimates, and we saw their ultimates not used last fight, and they lost. But the 2 fights earlier, we saw them just time them and just combo them very well, and they just obliterated them. So they really have to time these up, and if Set gets his TP up, we could see another flank, and that's kind of all TH needs to win these fights.
Yep.
Is a good engage on one of the Fed members, either I think Orianna or the Trist if they get insta-gived, the team fighting really drops off from EGL.
Yep.
And we're see.
So they will push mid with the Baron buff.
Yeah,
that's expected.
And we're gonna probably see a game that goes to Elder, and now that fight is even though
Ori
Ori caught out, and we see this combo Ash and all the engage is just THE playing it really well. We see, and the Charm.
They are.
And even into the Ocean Dragon, the only way to beat Ocean Dragon is hard engage. So THE has the perfect team for it, and we see Rumble caught on behind enemy lines. Assassin Rumble gets slowed by the Gragas here. We see the I'm very confused on what's happening.
Yikes.
Even burns the. We're just gonna act like we didn't see that. So
Ori got caught out. That's what really caught them.
Yeah, Ori got caught out, and then Ash Arrow snipes her.
Yeah.
And they were able to. And like I said, if they can remove Ori or Triss from these fights, I think it's THE favored. If it's not an extended fight.
Correct.
If they are all focusing one member, they can win.
Yep.
If their spread and their target selection is not perfect, they are not going to be able to win this.
Correct.
But they get Cryo on the Elder Dragon, and if they get this, I think they can just run her down. And
but Ari's she's so strong right now.
She's so strong, and this is where she wants to be. She wants to have position, and they have to come into an Ari with the hose. And we see a 4-man Shockwave, but not a whole lot.
No one there to capitalize.
Imagine if they had Elder Dragon.
Right.
They probably win the game.
At least,
So Ari, when she can hold the position and the other team has to come into her, she can throw charms and throw Qs and slow them, and it really opens up a different dimension of her playstyle. So,
Ari with the Rabadons too. Yeah, that's huge.
And we just see the AP difference. Even though she went the less damage build with the Spooky Ghost and the hose, she has Death Cap, she has Morello's, 2 the Ludens, Hourglass, Oblivion Orb. So Orianna has a lot less AP because Ari has 4 completed items because of those kills she got in the mid game, being proactive. And honestly, I think it's anybody's game. I thought after Seoul that it was going to be over, but THE has been playing their engages 100 times better than before when the Dragons were up. They went from kind of inting these fights, just running in 3v5 to coordinated TP flank, pulling the carries into their team, blowing up, focusing one target, and it's just amazing how different, even against Dragon Soul, which usually is much harder to blow someone up when you have the Ocean Soul, but they've been making it look way easier. Maybe they just wanted the challenge.
Maybe they found their composure back.
Maybe they got a little tilted after that Rumble got the double kill. Rumble killed Set under tower. It kind of looked like he should have died. So the thing about...
They're not putting pressure.
Yeah, they have Elder Dragon right now. They should be trying to force the fight.
They should be really forcing a fight. Because that's an immediate, death?
Pretty
like
much.
Less than 10%.
And we see the Ash Arrow fly off the map. And Gragas Arrow, or Gragas ult disengaging. They're going to get the tier 2. Not ideal. But with the Ocean Soul, it makes it hard for them. Because like I said, they could just stand back and just try and wave clear. And if they lose a couple towers, it's fine. They just want to avoid the hard engage. But if they were able to poke them down there and they still needed 5 to hold the towers, that's where it gets hard, but Ocean Soul erases that.
Right.
So Elder Drag is just not as powerful. And the mid game kind of throw where they lost all tempo.
Yes.
They have to go through
It's
all
come
these
back,
extra.
dude,
Yeah,
the
they have to
tempo.
go through all these extra towers,
Yeah.
and it just adds time and takes time off their Elder Dragon buff. And we see Ari going in.
Ooh.
She uses the ultimate, but she gets Shockwave, one-man Shockwave, and Guardian actually coming in clutch, protecting her from the Graves ultimate. So she was looking for a pick, and I think that's the right play, but I'm not sure
There was
if
no
Elder
one
Dragon
fouling
was.
him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but her agency to dash in there and dash out, it's good to see her
helps
go
a
for
lot.
it, but
Yep.
now she doesn't have the ult for a little bit. Baron is up. I'd like to see EGL just path right there. And,
Yep.
and like we
Put
said,
some
when
pressure on
Ari
there.
is able to hold a point, she's much stronger than when she has to approach into something like a Rumble, into something like an Orianna.
Yep.
Both these mid laners really want the enemy team to come to them, not go at each other. So whatever team gets there first will kind of have control. And we'll see if Ashe slides in and steals his blue buff. Or Lulu. But I think it's going to be for Padawan this time. She's carrying, so. And I would like to see EGL hold this point. Not handshake on Vision. So we see they're kind of leaving it, and
Yep, and then
THE is going to be
retreating
able to
back.
come in. And if THE wants, they can just hold it, kind of like they did at the Elder Dragon, and make the other team approach them. And that's, I think, is the difference in this team comps, because now they're off the pit and they kind of lose control. Even though they should have control, they have Ocean Dragon.
Right.
They should be trying to make the team fight come to them. And THE agrees and comes
And
right into him. And Set ults Rumble over the wall. He gets out with a flash. We see the Shockwave go down, gets Hourglass, but Tristana just has a lot of damage and is able to wither down the Ashe. We see everyone burning from the Rumble, but the utility of the Orianna coming down, but Ari is working Leona. She kind of danced with her in that bush for like 5 minutes is what it felt like. But we see the one for one here. The ADC for support. So EGL kind of loses their engage, but they're able to get mid-prio and
maybe get this.
maybe get the open inhib. So we saw Orianna get caught out again, but she was able to flash, and then her utility really helped EGL win that fight.
Big time. They were just able to fall on that Ashe right
Yeah,
away because
and-
Ashe had nowhere else to go.
And we see them not getting insta-gived and
Right.
Ocean Dragon really coming in. Whereas if someone gets one shot, they can't regen.
Yep.
And Ari goes in aggressive, gets the charm onto the Rumble. And then the flash base breaker from Set, and the Haymaker goes short. So a lot of cooldowns used. They protect the inhib, but Baron is up, and without that flash, the ultimate from Ari, it's going to be
Drake's
much.
up in 40 seconds, so what's going to happen right there?
We could see one team go Baron right now and then into Elder, or just play for the Elder. I think the Elder is much stronger, especially with the open inhib on the side of EGL. I would like to see them either get there and kind of get control.
Right.
Rumble should be getting topped off here and go back for some health, but I guess he's just going to run around and take some creeps. Maybe he's close to an item. Graves taking blue buff. Orianna doesn't need that. I mean, with Ocean Dragon, she is giving it. And he's not going to misclick and accidentally snag it.
Blue.
But Ocean Dragon really keeps your mana topped off. So we see the TP in from Rumble. So he did finish the Void Staff. So those wolves were worth. And we see a lot of tank items coming out here.
Very much
We
so.
see Gargoyle, Thornmail for the Set. So they're really looking to kill this Tristana. I think Tristana has to die, or Orianna. If
One
they
of those
do,
two have to die.
if they die instantly, and Set has a great flank here. So look for him to take the Blast Cone and just insta-grab.
And misses the...
Where was he aiming at? So
That's what I'm wondering, too. Where does he keep aiming these arrows?
So we see them not insta-die, but Gragas goes in and gets up.
Nice.
He trades it. So Ari's going to have to hard
it's
carry
for
this.
these two now.
Yeah, and we see she could grab the wave here and delay the game.
But they're going from Elder Drake to Baron. That's the fight right
Get
there.
up two
That's the fight. If they
major
don't...
objectives.
Wow.
Yeah, and Triss died, but she was able to do so much damage in that team
before
fight.
she died, yeah.
Before she died, so I don't know where these arrows
are aiming
I
for.
think you just throw it into the whole team.
Well, that's the thing. They were so bunched up. You hit one, you're good to go.
Yeah, but maybe he's trying to snipe that Orianna or Triss like really focus. But I think you just got to hit one.
You just got to hit one.
Yeah, hitting one's better than hitting none. And if
I know,
you get
honestly,
Ori or
even
Trist,
if you hit the Leona, like,
yeah,
then
you get to get on her before Aftershocks proc, so you can do more damage. Yeah, that team fight was very odd. We'll just say that. It was all over the place.
I'm just amazed that they didn't go straight to the Baron. Just
yeah,
because it was
Elder,
4.
and they had Elder.
They had Elder, right? They had the jungler up. They had everybody. They had who went down? It was only the Tristana. They had enough damage to still take down the Baron.
This Rumble
That's why I was
still
wondering
huge.
about that.
And he has stopwatch up that, or not Hourglass, which is a big cooldown for him. Because if he can get to the backline and just have his flamethrower going and just Hourglass, it's very good.
That's very good.
And they could honestly, with Elder Dragon, just start this Baron. I'm not sure why they're scared. They need Graves there, but once he's there, they can just force a fight. They need to just say, you guys are an engaged team. You have to engage. We have Elder Dragon. If you don't insta-kill us, we win.
Yep.
And EGL playing safe, which is not a bad thing, but sometimes you got to put the foot on the pedal.
You have to.
Push a little bit here.
Sometimes, yeah. Especially if you're in the lead like that, like that's something. I know goal differential, as you can see, that EGL's behind, but with the momentum, that momentum.
Elder Dragon is worth like 10k gold, I think.
Yep.
It's just so good, especially in a team comp where they have the Wombo combo. If they land the Wombo combo, everyone instant dies.
Yeah.
Literally instant dies from Elder Dragon. So they get the Baron, and we see another Ash Arrow misses the Baron.
Hard.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard for THE to win this, and I don't know if we can see when Elder Dragon ends, but it's got to be soon, or if it's not already finished. I think it's a minute 30, and because they did take their time getting the Baron, they kind of walked around, and I think it's gonna wear off soon here. So
it might have already did.
Yeah, I think it did.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, so same story as the last 3 fights. If Orianna and Triss don't die instantly, THE is going to lose this game. But EGL is giving them as many opportunities.
Giving them so many opportunities to come back in this game. Like, I don't know how to say frustration, disappointment. I don't know. Like,
letting them hang around. And, like they have it's not like they hard out scale either.
At least they could have pushed the inhib, right? Yeah. At least push inhib, push other lanes until Baron came up instead of just waiting around, waffling
it's
around.
Like they're nervous almost.
Right.
Like, or just not being in this position. They haven't played for a couple weeks, so
that could be it. Maybe some nerves racking down.
And they don't want to throw. I mean, no one wants to throw.
True.
But you don't win if you don't push.
Right. And you're going to make this game a little longer than what it should have.
Yeah, and you're just given that opportunity. If THE get a winning team fight, they can go down and get it.
You're letting them come back.
Yeah, you're keeping the opportunity open. And they're, like, now they're up in gold because of this Baron power play. But the gold was even, but they are much stronger in the 5v5, and they have been since Champ Select. So, yeah. Then the Shockwave only hits Lulu and Set. So that is not ideal, but Triss able to jump in and look to see if they can kill this. And Tristana goes in, suicides, but they do have Baron buff and the Soul, so they're able to win the fight. I think if they don't have Soul, but Ashe and Ahri are still up. They have much more damage alive than EGL, and they might just run them down here. You see the flash happening come up from Leona, and like we said, they're just not...
A lot of unnecessary things have happened, right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot, like you said, there's a lot of things that they should have done, but, you know.
Yeah, they're playing it safe, but we're just getting a more exciting game. We're getting to see more and more 5v5s. And Triss jumping into the backline during that team fight really gave THE the opportunity to turn on her, and she doesn't have the GA or anything. We actually see her with the tech. Boy would be proud. Frozen Mallet. That's an interesting choice instead of Guardian Angel if she is the key for them to win this game. Because if she dies, they lose. So Guardian Angel giving a second life with Ocean Dragon buff is interesting. We'll say that. Stormrazor plus Frozen Mallet. Yeah, they already have the Stormrazor for the slow. That's kind of what I was getting at. Maybe just for the health. I mean, it does help. Gives them more regen from the Ocean Dragon. So
that's true. That's true.
But I think GA is better there 99% of the time, in my opinion.
Because you're up for a second fight.
Yeah,
You know,
and we see Ash with the
forced
GA.
to focus.
Yeah, and with her being kind
Yeah.
of the key. If she dies, THE wins the fight. If she
True.
lives, EGL probably wins the fight. So,
This could be a pick.
yeah, and this is going to be the third
Ari.
Elder.
Ari make it.
So,
Ooh.
yeah, we see Seth goes in, uses the ultimate on Leon, and gets into the backline.
A little rushed on the haymaker.
Yeah,
That's
and we
what
see Rumble 1v1ing Ash, but Ash is to the point where she just wins.
Yeah, those fights.
She has the lifesteal, and even with Morel Namakama, we had talked so many times about how Grievous Wounds does not scale super well.
Correct.
So THE
This is interesting.
5v4,
They're gonna
giving up the Elder Dragon.
Giving Priol.
Yep, they gotta push into this, and they have to run through Orianna balls. So this is gonna be a close fight, but it's
No offense,
4v5.
forget about your mid. Go
Yeah.
5v4 the dragon.
They should just look to engage here, I think. Ari has ultimate, try and get a pick, go 3v5, and then force
Right,
down the Elder
that's what I
Dragon.
mean,
But they're
yeah.
waiting.
You can always go back and
Yeah, if they go right away, they can get the minions. But all we see is huge flash body
Nice.
slam by the Gragas, and the team is split up.
and the Zonia. Oh,
Yeah, so
nice.
Graves gets
There you
charmed,
go.
and THE win the fight.
Yep.
But we see a
And there we
backdoor
go.
attempt by Orianna. My voice is struggling.
It's
He's
struggling
going for
because we don't know
the...
what's happening. That's the problem. We don't know what the decision's going to be.
Yeah, that was a huge flash body slam by Gragas. Gets the 3-man knock into
What's going on?
And they follow up, win the fight. They could have just done that earlier and not lose a Nexus
Right,
tower, but
right.
they wait, they win the fight, they get the Elder. Now Set's running down Orianna. Where's the Frozen Mallet tech? Ash coming in on the flank. Assassin Ash coming in.
Why not just reset,
Yeah.
push the mid?
Oh, another arrow goes wide.
miss.
And the shockwave comes. Seriously. Hourglass. And now we got Rumble. They're
coming
running
in.
in.
Now this is a fiesta, okay? This is
They're
a fiesta.
running in one at a time.
I'm all over the place, guys.
Playing TDM.
Twitch, I am all over the place
We're
right now.
over 50 kills. My stomach's...
I don't even know what I'm doing.
Oh my god. Just run it down mid. We're going to see 5
I know, we're
Elder
going to see
Dragons
5
at
Elder
this
Drakes
point.
before this game ends.
Holy moly. Yeah, I am... Yeah, we're seeing EGL just give them these opportunities, and they don't outscale. I think both these teams scale pretty evenly, but they had a huge Rumble. Rumble was 4-1-5.
Right.
Now he's 4-5-8. And Ash was able to get to these items. Triss had a 2-item lead, and now they're just allowing them to get an even. And now these team fights are any. And we see Viz going for the kill or the steal, but he doesn't have flash. Set goes into the backline. We see Elder Dragon coming down. That's such a satisfying sound. And we see the cleanse here, but I think he's just dead to Elder. Maybe tick, tick, survives. But THE, I think Alex can just tank. I am so confused at what is happening.
Yeah.
This game has been all over the place.
I thought it was okay for the first 20-25 minutes.
Yeah, it was pretty
you know?
good.
And then
and we see the Shockwave actually one-shot the Ash, but he has GA versus Frozen Mallet. And yeah, Padawan going absolutely beast. He hard carried this game.
Yeah, he did.
I think if he wasn't there in the mid game, this game is over. But he was assisted by EGL's nervousness to end the game.
Correct.
But he got pick after pick, and we see Rumble go in, and Elder Drag just pop goes the Weasel.
Okay, so THE pulls up their second win of a game. I mean,
in 2 weeks.
Yes, 2 game wins. Not saying full win, but 2 game wins.
And the Frozen Mallet pick is very interesting. It does provide a lot of agency for Tristana, but like I said, the GA proved so valuable for Ash. And if Triss just had the GA, I think they would have won the game. And they just got to push. You just got to push your foot on the pedal. Sure, the other team had a good engage, but you had Wombo combo with Elder Dragon. Press R. Just press your buttons, as my coaching friends tell me. Because I never press my buttons. Just press your buttons, press R, and you win the fight. They all
But there was a couple times that Vindy went in there 1v4.
Yeah,
the chat was saying that. He was jumping into fights that he didn't need to jump in.
If he has GA, he can, though.
Right. But he did.
Jump
But
in.
those last...
Yeah, he jumped in with Frozen Mallet, was trying to slow the back line, I think.
I don't know what you're going to try and slow back there.
I don't know, honestly. It was a wild, wild game. I like it. I like 5v5s. I like hype.
It was
I
just so mind-numbing. It was like, what's happening?
We saw like 70 kills. I'm all for it.
Right?
But we're going to catch our breath here for a little bit. So we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. We can listen to some great music and see you in a bit.
Yeah, well,
In music, you're basically having a conversation. Is it correct?
You're not a dish. You're a man. Most name brand bars and body washes you rub on your skin.
All right, welcome back. Short break there after the excitement. Like we were just talking about, what a back and forth game. You know, both teams had very good opportunities to win. Little bit of a throw here, a little bit of a throw there. Indecision. 5 Elder Dragons, 4 Barons. Let's go.
Was it that many?
No, I don't know. I think it was 3 and 3, but that's still a lot.
That's still a lot.
Usually first Elder.
It usually ends after first Elder.
It's almost a
But
game
we've
winning.
seen both teams not utilize it
to the full
to its full effect.
Yeah,
like they're waiting on something.
When you take it, you want to right away fight. Unless you're like 2 HP, obviously, then you want to back.
True.
But we saw them kind of take it, recall, take some camps, go to Baron, posture, not take the fight. So yeah, and then it's just kind of wasted. Or then it's just a deny.
Yeah.
Which is fine if you're losing, but they were winning.
Right. But even the Baron, right? EGL had Baron. They were able to push 2 towers, but then they stopped at Hinhib for some reason.
It's a 5v4 with a super fed Rumble who ended up falling off.
Yeah. I don't know.
But, it was exciting.
Fighting.
It was exciting.
We do.
I had a good time.
Some of those decisions were a little
could
iffy.
be cleaner, but that and it's easy when you're not in there.
That's
but
true.
during it, you're like, crap. We don't want to lose this fight.
Right.
We had 2 Barons and 2 Elders. We don't want to lose this fight and lose the game off of it.
Right.
But
there
that
is a
indecision,
hesitation. You're right.
makes it more likely. Like at one point, I think. Vindy had 6 items and Camel had 4, but then they kind of waited, and then both of them were at 6, and we saw Rumble get on the backline and have like a 1v1. I don't know where the rest of the teams went or how that happened, but there was just a 1v1 between Rumble and Ash won because she scales and was able to get to that 6 items. If she had 4 and Rumble had 6, because he was hella fed, then they just killed the Ash. But Ash won the 1v1, was able to go on and take out the front line, which she's so good at because she has that blade, the attack speed, the procs from her Q. So that was awesome. I was saying those are the games that are like super exciting. Back back and forth. You're actually like playing the game. It's not like a 15-minute FF like every other solo queue game I play.
Yeah, that's
45-minute slugfest. and this is potentially THE's last game. So if they win this game, they get the George, they win the series, their first win, end on a high note, go out the right way, and potentially the last game we see Singed.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Singed.
Wink
Come on.
face.
I want to see Singed.
Just taking a drink.
Nico gets the ban. So with the Nico ban, I think it's always been consistent with him. I do want to see him. I want to see that.
He's been popping off on all the other champions. I would like to see him on his main.
Yeah.
If they're so scared of his Nico and he played Ari, Lux so well.
Yeah, and the Lissandra plays he's been doing. Yeah.
The guy's a monster. He's a beast. So
the Shen. See, we forgot to talk about Shen. Shen's buff with the 20 to his shield. That adds.
He gets a shield every 5 seconds.
Yep.
He's already a great 1v1 duelist in the top lane if played properly. I know Bearson played the Shen in one of the games, and he played it very well. The thing about Shen is you can build like a couple damage items, and it feels really good.
Yeah.
And we see the Rumble ban here. No double kill under tower.
Which is good.
And Ezreal going to come out. I think Ezreal is very good. He's kind of resident sleeper because he's so safe.
Yeah.
And this enables Yumi.
But he does so much damage.
Yeah, he does so much damage. He's got an E every 2 seconds.
Yeah.
He builds Muramana. But he's the only one. He's the one that started the trend, I believe. And people are like, wow, this feels really good when it's finished. But he is weak early because of that. We see the Jhin. I don't think we're going to have to worry about Muramana Jhin. I hope.
We'll be fine.
So Jhin, we're kind of going in a different direction than last game.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see if THE do pick hard engage like they did last time. It's really good to have a go button. Jhin does have the W, which is pseudo hard engage. And then Karma. And Karma is very
Karma's
busted.
good with the Jhin too.
Wonder if it's going to be support mid-top. It's a very flexible pick, very strong, empowers your team speeds, shields, damage, everything. Heals. It's like Ornn, but not a tank. Just a little bit more supportive. But she does win a lot of lanes, and that's why she's so good, is she does have the lane dominance plus all the utility. And so... Not my cup of tea.
Volibear comes through.
I hope it's
most likely a jungle.
Yeah, it's probably jungle. I hope the Karma's not top because that means no Singed.
Well, the set. Oh, okay.
Yep.
So set's being open. Usually set has been first pick or first round pick in majority of the games, or at least banned, but set hasn't been picked yet.
Yeah, so set falling through. And one thing Twitch chat is saying, Morgana, I think that's Storyteller's main champion.
Yeah.
And I think he's never got it. I think it's been banned every game.
No, he got it last game.
He got it last?
Yep. Last week.
Oh, maybe.
Yep. I think he got it last week, and he did tear it up last week with the Morgana.
So that's an interesting thing. King saying that in the Twitch chat. He's gotten it 2 times. Yeah. I wonder if he's going to get and the Graves comes back out
through.
Okay. We're gonna trade.
On that side this. Oh, it's on THE side
is Solo Mason going to take the Ignite? Right. And it's probably going to be into Volibear. I think Volibear's best lane is jungle. He's kind of crazy. He's kind of nutty in the jungle. He does a lot of damage. He takes 0 from monsters.
Well, the thing is with his 1v1 up and top lane isn't half bad either. You just got to land that. Once you get that W, it's point and click. You do have to wait like 4 seconds before you can heal yourself off of that W.
You see Orianna, so kind of a respect from last game and then set. So kind of just banning picks. We want to see some fresh stuff. Same. I like seeing some change up, but that game was exciting. So no Singed ban. Come on.
Syndra gets banned.
Syndra, I think Syndra's very strong. Yeah, she's consistent damage, and she can just delete someone if they get out of control. So get her out of there, Mordekaiser. So
Singed might come through for you.
Come on, baby. At least give me a hover.
At least give me a hover. Oh, that'd be too funny.
Yeah.
Too funny.
If you're listening, please.
Hey, the Mordekaiser got banned.
Yeah,
so.
Mordekaiser got banned, so they're targeting top laners. I bet you they're going to give counterpick. So
the Ahri comes through. I'm kind of surprised that the Ahri is coming through again. Because they carried the game last game.
It carried last game, but Singed is actually a very good pick here because if you have AP mid, AP top, or an AP top in general, not just Singed, but then Graves can be the only AD on the top side of the map, and the other team's top and mid are going to want to itemize, and jungle itemize against AP. So then Graves can do the big damage, and that he's so good at. He can really just kind of ignore bot lane and let him farm and just tear it up top lane, get a jungle kingdom. And yeah, King, I know Singed is good every game, but it's true. Except for Natimo or Darius. But anyways.
Yeah, I played I played Nocturne into Singed. That one's hard.
Yeah.
That one's rough.
Yeah,
Corki comes through.
Yeah, Corki comes through. So nice scaling mid laner. Here we go.
Very tanky front line.
Hey!
We get the Singed matchup.
Let's go. Oh, I am so hyped.
I do have to say, EGL does have a very tanky front lane, front though. So it's going to be really interesting to see how they're going to play that out.
Yep. And if Graves gets ahead, he can just terrorize this Corki. Yeah.
Right.
And Sion's going to want to go for the MR early, probably either completing the first item or at least picking up components. And that allows Graves. Sion, although he's pretty he's not that tanky without items.
Right.
He gets the shield, but his base stats are like not the top end of tanks. Right. So Graves dash in, he can really tear it up, and if he takes the ignite paired with Singed, they can flip him back, do a lot of damage. Ahri, we saw Ahri kill it last game, making the roams bot lane. Jhin, I'm interested to see. I'm not too familiar with Jhin in the current meta.
Right.
But Ezreal Nautilus is incredibly strong. I think scaling-wise, EGL does have the advantage. But just with the Graves, if Graves, once again, just like last game, if Graves can get out of control, he can really just end this game at 20 minutes if he can get ahead.
Graves pulls, Graves does so much damage against even the frontline tanks.
Yeah.
Just because of what he can do.
Yeah, and he does the AoE. We saw him really capitalize and get 4 dragons. I think they had soul at like 25 minutes.
Yep.
So he used his advantage very well. He got the couple kills, farmed up, got like a 1 to 2 level lead, and then he just was always first one there at dragon and starting it and just using that agency.
Yep.
Volibear is a little bit different because Volibear has so much health. That Graves can sometimes struggle if he can sit there and hit him a bunch, but in short trades it's a lot different where Graves struggles a little bit more, but he can still win the 1v1. It's a very close.
I agree.
So if Graves gets ahead, he can, and if Voli gets ahead, he can run over the Graves. If Voli gets a couple of kills, he can just kill Graves, and Graves, especially if he takes the ignite, he can't really run away.
Correct.
He gets the phase rush proc, but once that wears off, Voli just stuns him and just goes ham on him. So, I think both team comps are very even. With the Corki and Ezreal, I have to give scaling to EGL, but I can't pick against Singed. So.
Let's say this. I do want to see THE get their first win of the season, but I think EGL has the comp to be able to maintain the fight and scale a lot better than.
Yeah, and see, if they had this comp last game, I would have totally understand their approach after they had gotten those objectives. Then waiting until you hit your maximum power spike makes sense. Then you're not taking the 52-48, you're taking the 58-42, where before both teams scaled very evenly, so they didn't really get an advantage. They actually kind of lost their advantage because they had 2 super fed members. They let everyone get the 6 items, but if it was this comp, Corki scales incredibly well all the way from 2 items all the way to 6. Ezreal gets to like unkillable. He's like a tank that does like 700 damage per ability, but Karma is very good into Ezreal because she can just shield Jhin. I look for Jhin to be kind of more of a utility pick, kind of like the Ashe was. He does do a lot of damage, but with the W's, he can kind of set up these plays paired with Ahri. Like if Ahri roams bot and lands a charm into the W, they can kill anyone. So
even the R, his ultimate, like
slows
the slow and then disruption, like you said, utility pick is there. So
not as utility as Ashe, but still filling that role.
Still effective. So. Hey, I'm just happy we got your Singed pick through. I think
it's only took 10 weeks. Let's go. And this is a good matchup. Sion is not that difficult. you can just throw your slow on him and flip him. And if he's channeling Q, you don't care. You just run in.
Yep.
And Alex is very good on Singed. I've spectated him in some scrims when he has been playing it, and he kind of popped off. It was kind of nutty. I'm not gonna lie.
Really?
I took some notes. So. Yeah, so try and see if we have any interesting fleet footwork on the Corki. I think that's pretty standard.
Yeah.
Conqueror on the Ezreal, that's the preferred. We have seen some other, like, press the attack. He doesn't really have a keystone that fits him perfectly.
Right. He can pretty much take any keystone,
and
to
it's
be
good,
honest.
yeah. He's just a good champion. Phase Rush, we do see Flash on the Graves, not the Ignite, so not the super aggro 1v1 style for Graves. He's still the same champion, but he just has that little bit less damage early. We saw that huge gank with Ignite
early
and
game in mid,
just obliterated Ari's health in the last game. So we won't be seeing anything that crazy of a burst, but he's still scary to face check. I think I prefer the flash on it because I think auto flash Q into a wall is just so crazy. And then you can follow it up with another auto. And that burst almost beats Ignite. Like, I think it's better, especially late game.
Ignite just, like you said, adds just the extra damage just to guarantee the kill.
Yeah, in the early game, I think it falls off later. Where Flash, like some of those plays, we could have saw Graves go for the steal if he had the Flash. He could dash in, try to steal, Flash out. Where you kind of lose that. You always have your R, but Flash is just a little bit more guaranteed. You lose that ability if you have the Ignite.
Yeah. Ocean Shoals the first Drake, so we'll see how they go with that one.
Yeah, and I actually heard, I'm not sure if this is true, but in the beginning of the game, if you're in top lane by the alcove, you can see a dragon like flies by, and supposedly whatever dragon that is what soul it is.
Really?
So I'm not sure. I heard it on the LCK cast.
I've never heard that.
Yeah, but no Ocean Soul this game, so it's going to be either Infernal, Mountain, or Air. No, it's not true. Well, I guess I'm a liar. I tried. Doge story. But yeah, so top star from Braves is good. He can go in on Nautilus early, and I think he should path bot and look to, or even level 2 on the top lane. Get the Singe nice and fed. And he takes minion dematerializer on the Singed.
Yeah.
Just to push the wave. He's going to look to just have not take these grasp trades, but just and he takes Unsealed Spellbook instead of Conqueror. For a long time, Conqueror was very good, but just because after extended trades, and he's so tanky, he's so cool.
He's so cool.
So then we're just seeing some farming. I'm really confused on Solo Mason's path. He went red to Golems to Raptors. So he's just doing a full clear. I don't really think Golems are worth taking early. They just take so much time. Give the same experience level. That's just me personally.
I think it's just what his lanes are, because they're both, like, let's say the EGL's lanes are pretty safe, right, in that perspective. So he's probably assuming that there's really nowhere you can really gank early on. So he's just going for the full clear early, just to get ahead.
Yeah, probably, but that's right. But I want to see him go to this bot lane, try and get him. But they are playing safe. They have Ezreal, but I would just focus down the Nautilus. Yeah, we see a gank come in. Volibear comes in. No summoners blown or anything. Padawan playing towards his jungler. They didn't really have any early information, but gonna see a trade of crabs here. That's kind of standard.
Yep.
Nothing too exciting, mate. They blessed us last game with all the excitement, maybe. He hates Conqueror on Singed.
But it's so strong.
It's good. I mean,
Nautilus gets the grab.
Yeah, Nautilus with a hook. And now this is where Karma Jhin is strong.
Yes.
Re-engaging. If they don't die, it's similar to last game with the Leon. If they don't die and can survive through the initial burst, they turn around and pack a punch.
Right.
So it doesn't stack fast. That's true. I just forget to switch my spellbook. So. Ezreal using E. Yeah. Vindy likes going in. What can I say?
Yeah, I don't know what else to say about that one. Vindy's very aggressive.
He's aggressive. He likes going in and taking these trades. And Yeah, Alex pushing the wave, and this is what Singe can do so good. He can just push the wave, but he might be taking a bad trade. Nope. He says, yoink, get out of my lane.
That's a lot of damage he's taking,
yeah.
though. Like, that's...
Yeah, Sion's
I know Sion
answer's
doesn't need
good.
mana, but still, that's a lot of damage.
Yeah, and Sion is one of these champions that scale very well. He is going grasp, so there is some full AD Sions that run around in solo queue. I doubt that's what we're going to see here. Oh, is Viz going to get executed from the chickens? Oh my goodness gracious.
A little greedy on that one. Just a little greedy on the chicks.
The Raptors get their revenge for all these times he's cleared them.
That was a bad mistake, honestly.
The camera shouldn't have panned to him. We didn't want to see that. You guys did him dirty. But yeah.
Mid lane's pretty standard. Nothing's happening too much.
Fast recall, we say.
Yeah.
He's going to get his revenge on those Raptors. Yeah, pretty standard. Probably going to be a first fight around Dragon, I would assume.
Yep.
After seeing all the objectives taken last game, I would assume the prio on Dragon is going to be pretty important.
Yep.
And just like last game, Ari really does have access to that first, even more so than against Oriana, because she can push it with her Q. Corki has his Q, but he has to auto a lot more.
Yeah.
Chicken Hawks 1, EGL 0. Oh, goodness. So yeah, we see Ezreal pick up the tier. A lot of people have been going the pickaxe just for that early damage for this early dragon fight that we're probably going to see. But
there's not a lot of fighting. That's the thing.
Yeah, there's no fighting, so he's fine. Just to stack that up. See all this exciting trading up here. And the thing I want to see, and it's actually double tier for Ezreal, Corki, so they're weak. So I don't think they can even fight for this dragon. If Graves walks down, and Singe getting a little optimistic, he is gonna get out. And no.
So first blood goes to Sion.
Yeah. So the flash burnt and the ult, a good gank, but honestly, this should translate into dragon. It should have a couple minutes ago, but Graves was doing camps instead. And Jin missing the W is a big cooldown there. Nautilus is a pretty big target.
I was thinking he should target the Nautilus just because Ezreal is going to get out anyways.
Yeah, they don't even have to focus down Ezreal. They can just kill Nautilus and then if Ezreal turns around. I think that's
Nautilus is currently, with pre-what?
Ezreal steals the dragon.
Oh, man, so nice.
I thought Soul Mason was the smite god, but Ari's going to pick up all these kills. He did go the slowing rune again. Brain fart. Can't remember what it's called, but Vindy comes out like a bandit. Steals the Glacial Augment. I don't think he had smite up for that fight or if he smited early.
Sure?
I don't know. But that was tragic.
That was rough.
You hate to see it. And I hope I didn't bait Alex on the Singe, and he hasn't played him in weeks. I'd feel bad.
Oh.
I'm clenching. Nervous for my boy.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, THE. Alcove gameplay, that's right. So falling a little bit behind, and we see Sion pick up the Catalyst. I think that is for Abyssal Mask. So he's going to pick up the MR. I don't know where Graves has been. Graves should just be ganking, I think. He has the setup. Imagine ganking a Glacial Augment Ari and just them autoing, getting slowed, and you just can pop off on him. Or a Singe flip.
Graves is getting out-farmed this game, too.
Yeah, he's getting out-farmed, out-ganked, out-pressured. He did get the dragon, attempt to get the dragon. Got the dragon stolen, but he's just not really putting
a lot of pressure.
Yeah, and he has very gankable lanes, and that's the thing.
Yeah.
I was trying to read the copy pasta, but I was very confused. Yeah, so we see Singe coming here. He's processing.
That was a lot.
And the package comes in.
Yeah. With
But-
no vision, I don't know if proxying was something that he should be doing at the moment.
But I mean, he's taking a lot of time. He gives the kill over to Corky. He's not worth a ton of gold here.
Right.
It's probably like a 200, 150 gold kill.
Nice grab
It
from the
takes a
bottom.
lot of the pressure. So you want to proxy when there's objectives on the map. So if he proxies when Dragon's up and Graves is there, like that's a really good time to proxy. And when Summoners are up. So we see him with the Hextech Flash. And you can kind of do some cute things with that.
Right.
But I really want to see Graves get on the aggressive here. You know, you got a Catalyst Scion with a Cull in top lane,
Yep.
and just go gank that, man. And then Volibear sneaking the Rift right under Graves' nose. He was right behind it. He just cleared his red buff, so could see a 2v2 here. If it's not
Is he
low.
gonna view it? No.
And
Not even check it.
yeah, Corky actually getting mid prio here and getting the push.
EGL takes both objectives.
Yeah, so EGL gets the Rift and steals the
Steals
Dragon. So that's a
So
huge
they got both.
that's a huge momentum turn for them, because really they should have been hard punished. They had
That's the
double
thing.
tier.
Yep.
They have not a lot of lane prio because they don't have the damage items. You're having BF Sword Jhin
Yep.
against a tier Ezreal and you lose Dragon. Just hurts. Yeah, so just some more farming. Not a lot happening. Singed having all the deaths, but he's Singed, and that's okay. That's
what
fine.
he does.
Yeah, you can
He's
die.
tanking
You can
anyway.
die, and it's okay. People don't flame me, but he's getting hard camped here. Help this man.
Yeah, this guy.
And he's out. See, and this is the thing. Now Corky's gonna lose some
farm in the
creeps.
mid. Yeah.
And, not a lot happened. That's why he's excited. So Ari getting a good cheater recall. She should get her hose off this back. Now look for her to get on the roam. Last game we saw her get this item and immediately push mid, go
push
bot, and get a double kill.
Yep.
So see if she does the same playstyle here. She has ultimate. She's got ignite. She's got flash. Also, all flashes are up for all the champions, so it might be a little harder because last game they didn't have the flash when she made the roam.
Yeah, but once that charm damage comes through,
Yeah, if she can bait out the flash and then land the charm with her ultimate, like, yeah, I think, like we said before, just focus the Nautilus, just kill him.
Yep, that's all they gotta do.
And it's gonna be a trade. So we got Mountain Dragon next, and Storyteller's a little bit caught out.
It's gonna be a 4v3.
Maybe this is just the ultimate bait. And he's living somehow. I don't know what. That champion is not balanced. Singe comes in on the teleport, and so does Zion. And
yikes.
Singe just gets flashed on.
Ari comes in a little
Ari's coming to save the day. Is she going to be able to... She gets the kill, gets out alive. What a play by Ari. Holy moly. And Corky flashing in, gets the kill on Solo Mason. Not sure what Solo Mason was doing there because this Ari, who was the hard carry, was 2 HP, but she's coming swinging. I don't know how she survived. She went through their whole team, got the double kill.
Got out and got
out with 1 health.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that was... Oh my goodness gracious. Where did that man go?
Cyan just does a crazy amount of damage, man. It's just crazy.
Yeah, so I think he took a Q auto from Corky with the knockup at the same time. It just looked like Cyan erased him from the map, though. That was quite interesting.
The second Drake goes to EGL.
Yeah, now just like that, they have the scaling team. They have early lead. Yeah,
Hey,
it's not looking good.
Drake looks like it's...
Well, last game they had an early
Drake,
Dragon League. So, and it's going to be Air Drag. Not the best Dragon for like Corky, Ezreal. Ezreal is actually pretty good on for the ultimate cooldown, but the rest of their team, it is good on Volibear. When he ults in, he wants to go fast. So that's cool. It's a great soul on Singe, Graves, Ari, it's super good on. So it's actually not a bad soul for THE, but they're down 2 dragons to 0, which they should have had prior to those. So that's how she goes. The CS, Jhin is actually up like 30 CS in bot lane. So that's a huge differential. And we see the gold here. Yeah, he's up like 800 gold in the bot lane without any kills or anything. So, or with 1 kill. So that's a big CS lead. But
bad.
in response, Corky is up a lot of CS. And then also Volibear. I'm
don't know.
very confused on how that happens.
Same
Graves
here.
is a very good power farmer, and hasn't been on the ganks. Voli's been ganking, farming.
He's been helping. I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, maybe he's
the
just
presence.
cheerleading. And we see Graves caught out
Wow,
here.
look at that
Corky is
Corky
farmed
damage.
up. He's got the
Oh.
shield, and he just gets
1v1's the Graves.
Yeah, so Corky has the Manamune plus Sheen. So we saw the
That's
Sheen
huge.
damage come
Yeah.
out there. It looked really good. So yeah, it's just gonna get Sion going for the dive here. Not sure he wants to do that, but he's fishing for it. Oh, he's got help. Run, Singed.
Oh, man.
My boy, I baited him. Do I get like fined for begging them to pick it and running it? Yeah, this Corky is an absolute monster. After last game on the Oriana, he played very well in the team fights. He is very
But
strong.
he's doing good.
And he might just run away with this game, honestly. When you have a scaling comp and get an early lead, yeah. But I mean, bot lane is losing, but they scale. Ezreal scales. They have no problem playing weak side.
No.
Volibear's really been focused on this top side and mid. Bot lane's been kind of nothing's really been happening except for like after the dragon fight and stuff. We had the 5v5, but with Graves kind of being absent from this game,
I think that's the one thing. It's almost like a 4v5 game. Graves doesn't. Not a lot of. He respawns, but his response is too late.
Yeah,
majority of
and
the
he
time.
just hasn't like had an impact. Even when he is there, you just haven't seen like the confidence to like, go in with Graves. Those champions like Graves, Kha'Zix, you have to have the confidence to go in. If you hesitate for 1 second, you're not going to be as effective, and that's what Ignite kind of helps empower you. Like, man, I got Ignite, I can fight anyone. Gives you that little boost of confidence, but yeah, not sure about that one. And we see him shadowing lanes and looking for counter ganks, but Volibear's just
was that
just
second
farming.
Herald that went down?
Yeah, it looks like Corky actually took it too.
Yeah, second Herald went again. They got EGL takes both objectives, so that's huge.
Yeah, so EGL gets Dragon, gets second Herald. Gonna get a tower here. He already got top tower. And this map's just opening up, and this Corky is just gonna be able to roam with the package and just rain down.
Sion is just doing
Sion's
damage.
huge. He didn't even finish the the Abyssal Mask because he's not afraid of the Singed. And that's why Voli is so good. He can just run people down. And that's why I said if Graves didn't get ahead, he's and Padawan going in. I think he's got him here.
Shut down. That's
gonna
a huge
he's gonna try and carry this game. Yeah, that's a big shutdown. He's 3-0. If he lands a charm on Corky, I think Corky will die, especially because he has the teleport and not the barrier or anything like that. Patty Daddy. Yeah, Padawan is playing absolutely out of his mind. He's looked very clean on this Ahri. He even gets his main champion banned every game, and he still performs. The Lux was great. The Lissandra was great. He's looked like a really, really solid mid laner. Winning on the map. He's down a little CS because he has been trying to salvage this game, but man, has he looked absolutely great in this game. So,
third Drake comes up. Is that that is Wind Drake.
Yep, Air Soul.
Yep.
And at this point, I think THE can just give up the dragons. They're going to give it up, try and sack it for some gold, some tower pressure.
You're going to need to. They haven't had much pressure all game.
Yeah, they haven't had much pressure, and Cloud Soul doesn't hurt them that much. Like I said, it's pretty good on their champions. You know, Nautilus gets a speed boost, a little shorter cooldown, but the gold is much more important. And we see Padawan going here for the 1v1, looking to get the pick. They are rotating, so he's got to get him fast, or he's going to be cut out. But Pai played it really patiently. He ended up burning his flash and probably could have just flashed right away, but he was kind of letting Ezreal come maybe to get a pick and get the shutdown, because I'm sure Padawan has a little bit of the shutdown. Alex getting a push on the top lane here. He's getting up some of that gold that he lost. And he is 0-6 right now. But with Singe, it's not that big a deal. You proxy, so you don't lose the minions usually.
Right.
So you get the experience in gold, and sure, you like die a lot. And the first 2 are like hurt, but after like 3, 4, like, and it's early, you get a fast respawn. Now, if he dies now, the respawn's long enough where it can affect the macro. But early game, sure, it's a little bit of a gold, but you can kind of play recklessly. I always feed, so that's why I play Singe. I feel better about myself.
Singe, like, yeah, it doesn't matter how much. Yes, it does matter how much you feed, but when you feed early, like, he's able to come back from that.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
you know?
he's still going to get tanky. He's got the Leandri's Torment, so he's going to be able to damage the Scion once he catches up in experience. He is down a level. Probably doesn't want to trade with him because he's tanky.
Yep.
But once he gets, like, see, actually, Nautilus. EGL hates Singed. They just want him dead.
They want to stop him.
Singed players defending dying 6 times. You already know. But yeah, he's going to get to the point as long as the rest of the team doesn't fall behind, which is what's happening. We see Kirky with the Muramana finish, and they are very outscaled. He's really their only champion that scales. He scales a little bit better than Scion, so. But mid's going to get outscaled, bot's going to get outscaled. I think this Corki with package up, if he times it so he gets the package when the dragon comes out, it's almost guaranteed soul. So, and we haven't even seen Graves in a fight in like
when he is, it's always
5 minutes. He's running around way or getting picked off. And this is the unfortunate thing with Graves and Kha'Zix, where if you fall behind, it feels really bad. Scion running it down, farm alarm, but he's going in, and he smacks right into the tower. He's tanking, and he's running. Wow! But he's very tanky. Oh, and Singe is not as tanky.
Yep, Singe just gets picked off.
And we see the difference here with that early lead. Singe built the damage for the Leandri so he could fight back against the Scion, but in these team fights, he's just a little bit, he's not tanky enough.
Right.
Whereas Scion has the Sunfire and the Abyssal Mask, or Adaptive Helm, and he's able to just tank the whole team. And that's going to make him be able to face tank this Ahri. If he face tanks Ahri's Charm and all of her damage, it makes her a lot less reliable. If she's hitting him instead of a Corki, instead of an Ezreal, that's almost going to be their win con, is to just have him tank.
Agreed. Agreed. So he's going what, the typical build? Leandri's into Rylai's probably.
Rylai's. Yeah, and then maybe into like a Gargoyle Stoneplate, just so he can get both MR and armor. Because this Corki is getting out of control, he's got to answer it. Or Padawan has to land a crazy charm.
Yeah.
Corki should never be in range of that, and he's working on his rapid fire cannon right here. So, yeah.
Gosh, even Ezreal's up, what, 2 items to Jin's half items?
Yeah, and that's mostly because they're a little bit cheaper. He's going for the Infinity Edge here. We see them just rushing the Baron at 22 minutes.
It's not a bad call.
No, and they have a super strong Corki, and everyone's here. Singe is on the bot lane. He doesn't have teleport. It's going to be a steal from... Is Cody going to avenge himself from the Dragon steal?
Right.
Or do they even know it's happening? Oh my goodness, he's just dead.
He can't do it. He can't do it.
I thought Ahri went for it. He's got to try, but yeah, this is a Diffie in the Jiffy, if I had to say so myself.
So this is a cleaner game from EGL. Maybe let's say this. Maybe last game so far, but
they got to push this advantage now.
Yeah. So let's see what they do with this, because their first game was pretty clean, not too bad either. But this one,
and then they lost it in the late game. They kind of got a little nervous and weren't sure how to end.
Right.
So hopefully they can use this lead for to end the game, not just like let the other team. Because if right now Scion 2.5 items, almost 3 items, Singed 1.5, Foley 3 items, Graves 1.5. Corki just finished his 3-item huge power spike. He is so strong right now. Ahri, 1.5 items. If they just push this, but instead, it's going to be a 50-50. And we'll see.
And it got
Oh, Graves wasn't even there. He was still dead.
Yeah.
So I think this is just going to be the game.
I was just saying, this is a better game.
Yeah.
Hopefully it maintains that way.
Yeah,
It's a
hopefully
better
they
game.
keep pushing and use this and don't like get nervous
Right.
and don't end. Like
Right.
if they slow down, they could allow THE
Them to
the
come back.
opportunity to come back. Not saying
Yeah.
they will, but just leaving the door open
Yep.
for them. And we see Cyan actually tanking here. He's trying to protect the minions. Maybe they're FF15 or something.
Can't have that.
I know. But
Maybe can
Just
they
trying to
go through the
discuss.
full in him?
I think they can.
Ah, they're gonna stop.
As long as
it.
they keep Corky alive, they can do it.
Right.
They have Scion pushing, and Corky
Does
is
so much
huge.
damage.
He is absolutely monster. I don't even think anyone can step up to him because they don't have the engage they had last game. Sinch has to
Correct.
run into him, where last game they had the hard engage.
Yep.
So I think Corky's pretty safe to just do as he pleases here. Yeah, so they can just take this in him, walk right up the top lane, get that in him,
Yep.
and then, yeah, then go bot. I think they should try to end this game before Elder Dragon spawns.
I think so too.
If they let Elder Dragon spawns, it gives THE the chance to
Opportunity to come back.
50-50 it, and if they somehow get it, they have a chance. Yeah, but I don't even know if they're going to get to that point. The tanks just got super big, and they can just...
That's the thing. The front line is huge.
Yeah, Graves just really hasn't been able to
Do much.
do anything. So, not true. Not a top difference. I feel bad. I baited him in. Singe 0 win percentage. I can accept it. I'll just cry after this. But yeah, and just like they did in the top lane, I don't even think they have to push mid. They should just go bot lane and just
Push that out.
push
too.
that out.
Yep.
Let supers do this. Let supers do the dirty work.
Yep.
So THE doing what they can. And like I said, their biggest chance to win this game is to let this go to Elder Dragon, get a pick, and
Can't go from there.
50-50 the Dragon and
Right.
get it.
Right.
But Graves is down 2 levels. Makes the smite hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really think it's
reset.
difficult.
Yeah.
And I am not sure how THE wins
Hey,
this
this
one.
is gonna be our second game 3. Of this
Our
season.
first game 3.
Oh, our first game 3. That's
Yeah.
true. Right. That's true.
Test the voice. I'll make sure I can go the distance. Since we've had an easy mode. And they're doing the right thing. They're just pushing out.
Yeah, just pushing out bot. That's really all you gotta do.
Yeah, they
everybody
don't want to
there.
lose 3 inhibs, because if they lose 3 inhibs, then it's essentially a
That's
7v5 because of
Yeah.
the double supers and everything. Always gives
Because
prio.
what,
and it's
Elder
just-
Drake comes up in 2 minutes, Baron comes up in a minute, you can do that.
Yeah, and I think Volibear is not bad. He's so good. And it seems like every game I play with Volibear, he just gets out of control. I don't know why.
Really? I don't
Yeah.
know, like,
I think, but Sinch gets the pick on
Volibear gets stopped
Ezreal.
a bit.
No, that's Zion. I thought that was Ezreal. I can't even see.
So they do take tower. Ooh, nice.
Oh, they're all dead.
Yeah, there it goes. There it goes.
Goomba stomp by Volibear, and he's just running at him. I don't know why he's so fast.
It's cute, man. When you're chasing someone, it creates that movement speed.
Yeah, and then that's going to be game. So
Yeah.
we are going to go to game 3. And EGL played this much better. They didn't
Yeah.
fool around. They
Right.
had the lead, and they ended the game. They didn't wait for the other team. They didn't wait for the guaranteed. Like, sure, they had much favored, but they
Yeah.
weren't like scared to go for it. They just
Right.
went for it. Ended the game before Elder Dragon, not give the other team an opportunity
Yeah.
to come back like
Yeah.
last game happened. So,
Yeah. Maybe it was just first game jitters. Because like you said, they haven't played for what, 3 weeks?
Yeah.
4 weeks now?
5 because it
weeks?
was before the break, 2-week break, 3 weeks of games. So
yeah,
they haven't played for a while.
First game jitters after a while.
And we see Corky just absolutely popped off. He did 24.
That was a good game.
He played absolutely well.
That was a good game for him.
And not that Pato played bad. He was like 4-0.
Yeah.
But Corky scales a lot better. Played very well. Got the kills. Got funneled some gold.
Yeah.
And he used it. And Graves doing less damage than Karma, almost less damage than Nautilus. Kind of a feels bad, man.
Right.
Hey,
your Singe did a lot more damage than everybody else.
Most damage on the team. But we really looked to Graves in that game to take over.
Do something.
He was the solo AD on the top side of the map. He really needed to push his advantage, and Moth is too true. Any truers? But we're gonna go to break. Do you know what time they're gonna start up again? The next game's at 4. So we're gonna take like a 5-minute break. We'll see you in like 5 minutes.
Yep.
So
Sounds
all right, don't go anywhere. Game 3. THE. Will they get their first win? I am not sure. All right, welcome
We're
back.
back.
Short little break. Going to be getting back in the action. Really clean game by EGL. After a
No fooling around.
after
It
a
was good. It was
exciting
good.
back and forth, they just cleaned it up. They played really well. Corky got out of hand.
Ooh, yes.
Top lane got out of hand. Jungle gap. Bot gap happened a little bit. So top gap, I'll admit, I take one for the team. I picked THE to win. I might have baited them. I'll take the fall for this one. But the last game of THE's season right here.
Yep.
Will they close out on a good note or a defeated note?
But I think either way, in nearing the end of this season, I think they did. I guess you can say they improved a lot better.
Yep.
Improved a lot more because they at least took a couple games, but they also put in some good fights as well too.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just like
Weren't getting
a train wreck,
smashed or anything.
So
which is great to see.
yeah. So improvement was there.
Yeah.
So it was good.
But it will be their last game. They aren't going to make the playoffs, so everyone give them your goodbye at the end of the game.
Give them some support. They're gonna,
Yeah,
show
give
some
them
good
some
respect.
love. Or flame them. I'm just kidding. But EGL fighting for that second place spot.
Is that what? Okay.
I didn't look at the standing. I'm not gonna lie. But I know it's close with them and PTC. So every win counts. Every game counts. They're really looking to pick up this win to try and play for the championship.
Yeah.
So look for Cryptic. I think he's going to go right back to the Corky. I wouldn't play anything else.
Yeah.
Same with
Corky was
Gilio.
really successful for them.
And Gilio played the Scion really well. Why would you pick anything else? I think that's going to be the same. I think THE's draft is going to switch. Wouldn't be surprised if they played some different champions.
Right. Trying some different things. Maybe go back to the original.
Yeah, go back to what worked. Hard engage.
Yep.
A go button. It worked so well for them in game one. Probably go back. I would expect them to go back to that.
I would, because they were able to pull it off really easily. It was something
Yeah.
simple for them to do. So.
Yeah, and we see King saying stop banning Shen. Yeah, Shen's really good for that go button. I don't know I don't remember which team was banning Shen, but he did hit the bans.
Twice.
I don't
this
think
game.
they're going to leave Nico up, but I don't think it could go any worse. Ari's gotten fed every game. I think the Nico would probably get equally as fed, but maybe Padawan Tano is just an absolute Nico animal.
I want to see it.
I'm interested to see because they're terrified of it.
Yeah, I want to see it. It's
Yeah,
'cause
but I
like you
assume
said,
that, like I said, I don't think EGL has to change anything. They've won in such a commanding fashion
Yep.
that they could just say, "We're going to play the same. You guys have to change, and if you beat us."
yeah.
But I think after about 10 minutes, that game was already over. So Swain
Swain.
hitting the bans,
Yeah.
just like every
consistent.
game against, and
Shen.
Shen hitting the bans. I guess people in
can
Twitch
see
chat
the
were
Nico.
saying they were playing Shen a lot in solo
Okay.
queue. Alex has been, so
Okay.
that's why he's been getting banned. He's very strong laner, very strong tank, initiation, global ultimate. He brings a lot to the
Right.
team. So I really like the volley ban. I think volley was the cause of a lot of problems last game.
Yes.
And look for Solo Mason to get on the Jarvan or the Rek'Sai. We saw him be much more effective earlier on those champions. They have a lot more agency than like the Graves.
Yeah.
Graves is super strong early, but you have to play it very cleanly. Otherwise,
Yeah.
you can kind of run it. So
So they're either gonna go with the Caitlyn ban. Maybe
yeah,
the
we've
Ezreal
seen a lot
ban?
of our ADCs pinched here.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. I think. I would like to see the Ezreal ban. Ezreal is
It's
not exciting.
Oh, the
Rumble,
Rumble ban
he
comes
played
through.
Rumble very
Okay.
well in game one. I think he's just going to go to Scion, though, with
Yep.
how clean he looked. He looked very confident on it last game. Maybe Alex has a counter pick for it this game because it did come in late in the Champs Select last round. And maybe 80 carries are going to be wide open, and we can kind of see
An open game.
see
Hopefully.
everyone on their top champions, even though Vindy doesn't get his Swain. He did talk about
Okay.
You
So
could talk
Nico's
about-
open.
Tristana countering, and they're not going to first pick it. Maybe EGL's going to play the Nico,
Right.
but they did talk about Trist being their counter pick to Caitlyn, so I wasn't sure if they were confident banning it. But we see it go. Probably still going to flex to the Trist. He looked good on it in game one until he jumped into the whole team.
Yep.
But up until that point, he was playing good. He's doing a ton of damage.
Yep.
Built Frozen Mallet.
The
But Jinx.
Okay.
Ooh. So going for the
That's a different
hyper
pick.
scaling.
Yep.
80 carry. So they didn't have access to the Ezreal to keep things exactly the same as last game, but
Yep.
they still have access to the Corki. Not sure if Padawan plays it. I think he's going to take Nico if it's open with how scared everyone has
I know,
been. But
right?
maybe he's like psyched out, like, oh, they must have like a super hard counter to me since it's been banned every single week and every single game.
Oh, yeah. The Morgana
And then
does
they
come
steal the
through.
Morgana too.
Yep.
So THE getting kind of punished for the first pick, Ezreal. Morgana would have been a very good pick. That's their support's main champion. And we see Kha'Zix hover here. Kha'Zix is insanely broken, but he's much like Graves. If he doesn't get a little bit of a lead, he is very useless.
For
but
sure. For sure.
Sejuani's much more of a team champion, and same with Jarvan. Jarvan, it brings that
Jarvan's
early
good.
pressure, early damage, scales into a good
Yep.
tank. And Padawan could pick mid here. I'm assuming Nico will get banned if he doesn't.
Right.
If he wants a Nico.
I'd like to see the Nico. I want to see how good this
I'm-
Nico looks like. And I haven't seen Nico played in a whole lot of games. So
No.
that's why it's to see
Yeah, and
this
seeing
come
it
through.
banned like permanent. But Bard would actually be a good pick here as well. Bard Ezreal is a great combo.
Yeah.
Morgana kind of makes that sad, but
The
we see the Zyra.
Okay.
Another
So
one of
it's holding out.
storytellers.
Yeah.
So we're not picking mid. So we'll see if they are afraid of the
Right.
Nico or if they are. If they have a counter pick. If they
Right.
don't ban it in the second round of bans, I think they have a counter pick to it.
Mm-hmm.
We see Gangplank hover here. The blind Gangplank. Gangplank is a good blind pickable top laner. We haven't seen him be super effective. The
Was
thing
there a
I
gameplay game that we saw?
yeah we saw Alex on Gangplank.
That's
He
what it
got super
was.
ahead,
Yes, he
but then
did.
he couldn't win the game. So
Yeah.
we see him go with Scion just like we saw last game. He looked
Mm-hmm.
very good on it, but the thing about Gangplank, he used to feel so like satisfying. If you landed triple barrel, it used to do so much damage. Now it does like good damage, but it's not like you're like one-shotting people.
Correct. You're not like
so it's like
half-healthing someone.
yeah, slowing them, and then you run fast, but it's
Yeah.
like I'm not doing the big explosion. It doesn't feel as satisfying, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Some people still really like him. He's great in lane. He's a great blind pick, but with how Simon was played last game, I think it's totally a good
Right.
pick here. He popped off. So
So the Oriana gets banned.
so we see last season Storytell was a Zyra main, not but
I
into
won't
Morgana
be
definitely feels bad.
Sedge ban.
So we
Okay.
do see the bot lanes. Jinx Morgana versus Zyra Ezreal. And
Lysandra ban.
Nico's still
Nico's
open.
still open. Very open.
Well, I'm interested to know the counter pick.
I know. That's
There
what
has to
I
be
am
something.
too.
Is there someone that just destroys Nico? Like Singed open, true.
Hey, don't troll him into picking Singed again, okay?
Yeah, I'm just very confused since Nico had been like the first ban every team had made, and now she's just absent. Galio
So
ban.
the
So we
Galio
did see
bans.
EGL play the Galio Camille, and it looked really good by them.
Right.
So seeing that hit the bin, pretty interesting. I'm nervous to see what's going to happen. And they do have jungle pick, so Vindy can pick jungle on R4 here,
Yep.
and then they can leave counter pick for mid,
Yep.
which would be the Nico, I'd assume, if THE pick it. Like,
Hey.
they are just playing some massive
Ooh,
mind
the
games.
Zac, okay.
And Zach comes in, so they're very tanky. Once
Still
again,
another front line. Yeah, very good.
very
front
tanky
line.
with a hyper carry. What better front to back comp?
Yeah.
So interested to see how THE counter this, because you can kind of see what the team comp's going to be. They're probably going to pick a control mage in the mid lane, or someone to empower Jinx and do damage like the Oriana.
Yep.
Oriana would be a super slick pick if EGL if it was up, but they actually banned it. So
Yeah.
we see Ornn.
Okay. It's not a bad pick into this comp either. It's just more of the disruption, the utility.
I know I'm slouching a little bit. I'm not in peak performance. I'm recovering still. So yeah, let's see Nico. I want to see it. Diana would be a very good pick here, but he played very well in the Ahri, and he might be scared of the counter pick since they left it open. But his Ahri looked very well.
Ahri is a safe pick just because, you know,
Yeah,
the
you get the
mobility and
dash.
the dash. Okay, so it goes Corki again.
Yeah, and Corki looked really good. And
Yep.
with this front to back team comp,
Yeah.
they yeah, and I don't know if Nico gets countered by Corki. I'm not sure on Nico, to be honest.
Gosh, I was really hoping for the Nico pick.
Yeah, we could have seen why everyone was afraid. Yeah, EGL's comp looks very scary.
Yes.
Unless they get rolled. Like if they
True.
fall behind, they have to scale. They have to get to 30 minutes with Corky Jinx. If we see Padawan pop off like he had the last 2 games, he can be a lot more oppressive this game because hopefully they don't fall super behind.
Right.
And that was the problem last game. He got ahead, but he wasn't able to like use it as he was in game 1. But I do give EGL the hard scaling advantage with Jinx. And question, is it going to be Muramana Jinx? I saw Sneaky building it on his stream.
So. Really?
Yeah, they build it on everyone. I swear that they just throw it on every champion. I don't like it once again, but yeah, it's interesting.
I don't play much ADC, so it's not my role.
They build it. I saw Vayne building it. I saw Twitch is building it. I was just
Twitch is build. I've seen that more often, but
oh, King, you're just going after the man.
Hey, Ezreal might be different, right? Yeah. Let's give it to him. Ezreal might be different. Has a bigger hitbox for his R as well too. So
spammable.
Yeah, spammable skill shot, so more chances to hit it.
Yeah, I really do like EGL's comp. I think if Ari doesn't get hella fed, THE is not able to get through their front line with Ezreal Ari.
No,
they just don't have the damage to get through Sion, Zach. Yeah,
you just see that last game. Like Sion was a little tanky, Zach coming in.
And Ezreal's going to have to build Blade, I assume, as his third item. And Zyra might actually be the key. I kind of forgot, but she can build the Leandries. And because we've seen Padawan really go towards this Glacial Augment build, probably going to go once again. So Zyra is actually going to be a big part of getting through this front line.
Right.
But if Zach gets on her, I think she just dies.
She does.
That's the issue. She doesn't have an answer, or Sion just presses R and runs at her.
Right.
I don't think Zyra has many options, but her damage is definitely necessary to get through this front line and get to the Corki and the Jinx. But they have Morgana in the back line. Should be black shielding to avoid any like crazy engages or the Ornn Horn. The combo I do really like is Ari, Jarvan, Ornn. If Jarvan ults, that almost guarantees the Ornn ult into the Ari charm, into the one shot.
Yep.
Obviously that can be stopped by the black shield, but
black shield is only one.
Yeah,
it's only one
black
shield.
person, so should be able to reliably get backline CC, but it's just getting through this backline. We might see like a lot of 5v5s. Both teams have 5v5 comps, so should be a nice, exciting game. Maybe it'll be like game 1. I don't know if my voice can take that because that was wild. But I'm all for it. Let's see some action and some 5v5s. What comp do you like more?
What comp do I like more? I do like EGL's comp more, just because it's a little bit more simple. It's straightforward. You have the Corki, you have the Jinx that just does the damage that it needs to. And if you can't get on, like, they don't really have much of anybody that can get on top of them other than the Jarvan and the Ahri. But those, depending on how Jarvan gets built, he gets blown up just as easily as Ahri gets blown up.
Are we going to see what's the redemption?
The redemption Jarvan? Yeah.
I hope not.
Hey, my cousin loves playing Redemption Udyr. So
that's even worse. But yeah, I agree. I think he's just going to go full tank. He needs to get his team ahead.
That's the thing. I don't know.
And after last game on Graves, when he was literally AFK.
Yeah, that's hard. You know, like EGL, the team's there. It's easy to hit, but
but we saw such a vast contrast between game 1. He was on Gragas. He was like suicide ganking.
True.
He was like level 3 for 5 minutes. He was just flashing into every lane, just ganking on cooldown, just doing everything. And then last game he didn't gank once. He died in the jungle. Foley got to kill.
Yes. It was rough. So to see 2 different types of games was for him.
Very interesting.
I wanted to see a little bit more consistency. You know, like Graves is a farming jungler, but he's also an oppressive one.
Especially into the double MR.
And the thing is, if your lanes weren't doing anything, you have another lane to hit, jungle, and that's the jungle.
And you have the 1v1 advantage. But same with this game. The best thing to do against Zach, invade him.
Yeah.
He's so weak early. He has to use his E to engage onto camps because that's what he maxes first for damage. So he E's in to a camp. You just come and just fight him.
He can't get out.
He can't get out. He can't fight you.
Yeah, like he can heal, but he has to run over his
and you
gels
can
to
really,
heal.
really, and the thing they need to do is get some information, get his starting spot, and then try to fight him. And just like last game and game 1, Ari's going to have mid-prio early. Orange should have even against Scion.
Maybe
Scion's
a
very good
better
at controlling waves.
Yeah.
This is Alex's main champion. I'm not sure about Gilio. I think he does play a lot of tanks. He's been on a lot of different champions in all of his games. We've seen a nice variety. We've seen Set. We've seen Scion, some tanks.
Did he play Aatrox at one time?
I think so.
Okay.
So, typical top lane stuff. So it should be a pretty even top lane, but mid lane prio should definitely go to Ari. Look for Jarvan to invade, get on the ganks, maybe even level 2.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I just want to see him gank.
Yeah.
He needs to
I
gank.
want to see him be a little bit more map pressure.
Yeah, and not top lane. I don't think
Right.
ganking top is the play in this game.
No.
He needs to get mid ahead, and Padawan has
That's
been
where you
doing
have to play your strength.
Yes,
Right?
Padawan has been doing so good. If you just empower him and get him ahead earlier,
Yeah.
he's been doing fine by himself, but he was like 4-0 and their team was down 20-4.
Oh! The Jarvan loses the red to the Zyra plant. Oh, that's gonna really slow the Jarvan down.
Hate to see it. I was looking away.
Oh man, I was waiting for it because I saw the plant still up, and I was like, no, that can't happen.
What a tilter. Well, Zyra getting some poke down here.
Yeah, might as well.
This-
Gotta use the advantage you have now. So, oh, that just slows the Jarvan down big time.
If I'm that jungler in solo queue 15 question mark enter, yeah, that's absolutely a tilter, especially on Jarvan when he wants to get that level 3 gank early down. Yeah, that stinks. But Ezreal getting level 2,
The thing is
getting aggressive, landing his Qs.
Yeah, and with that mess up, they're using that advantage.
Yeah,
Right.
And don't let it
the pressure.
lose the game.
Right. So they're doing what they have to. So that's a positive. Let's say that's a positive because you mess up, but hey, utilize it.
Yeah, make the most of it. Sure, it sucks for Jarvan. I know Cody. He's a pretty laid back guy. He's not gonna let it tilt him.
Yeah. And shit, I'm sorry, stream, my bad. It happens.
Yeah, it happens. It's not like he tried. He didn't stand there and auto it the last second and laugh. It was just the passive. That happens, but we see Zach fighting him.
Taking advantage of that. So.
Yeah, so Jarvan loses a lot more health because he doesn't have the regen for the red buff. So where we wanted to see Jarvan invading Zach actually probably could mess with him, even though he's level 2. Actually, maybe Jarvan wins that.
Yeah.
Now that I didn't notice he was level 2, I thought he was level 3.
Yeah.
I think Jarvan could have fought him.
Oh, he did go 3 camps for that. Okay. Yeah, he had to catch up.
And he does have a faster jungle clear by far earlier.
Yeah.
Later, Zach does catch up because he has all the AoE.
Yeah.
But in the early game, Jarvan is like the fastest clear. His passive is just so good in the jungle.
Yeah.
And top lane is going to be pretty resident sleeper.
Yep. I think.
Yeah, Soul Mason's up NCS, so that's exactly what Jarvan's strength is he's so strong early. His passive really gets him on the tempo. But we see, and Padawan actually flashing.
Oh.
Yeah, I think he was out just because Corki has no mana.
Yeah,
but,
so it's not too bad.
Oh, and Zyra takes a huge trade and chunks Jinx. If THE is able to freeze this, Ezreal could lose. Oh, but Jarvan is here.
Almost, yeah.
Yeah, that was a great trade by Zyra, almost blowing up Vindy in one rotation, using that red buff.
But that's the power.
And yeah, right here is where Jarvan wants to be. He misses the smite,
misses the knockup,
misses the EQ, misses everything. But he's got his bot coming up, burns the Zac flash, and now he should just try and turn this into a huge advantage. He should go into their jungle with Zyra, transition this into, because Zac's gonna go farm, and if he went with Zyra into their jungle, he just kills Zac. Zac has E'd in to start the camp. He's got no flash. He at least gets the passive.
But that's the thing. Okay, so let's take that into consideration, right? That's what I've been missing as a jungler in the last maybe 4 weeks or 3 weeks of all these games, they don't take that advantage. I think that's why I would like to see more from all the junglers.
And it is scary.
It is, but but if you have the advantage with your support and your ADC, just do it.
Yeah,
Push
you knew
it.
bot lane was backed.
Right.
So they were coming, but with Zyra, Jarvan against a 200 HP Zac, and even, like, at least get the passive.
Correct. You know, and that's the thing.
Or
like,
Vision.
I would like to see that more.
Yeah.
They're I think the junglers and all 4 teams play a little too passive, but they should take advantage of those things.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree. And the matchup, that's if you scale with Zac, you're gonna lose.
No, I get it, because like that's what I've been doing with my mods, right? And like, who was it? I think Jig and Jag made a good question of, well, do I risk it? Do I not risk it? Well, actually, it's more worth the risk, because like you said, get a deep ward in there, find a jungler. Where
it doesn't always have to be a kill.
Doesn't have to be a kill. It
even just to chunk them off. If you do some damage and get out safely, but then you to do that, you have to have really good communication. Because if the mid laner leaves, it's top lane TPs, you got to be all on the same page. And we see Zac coming in, but Ari just says, I don't care.
First blood?
And he just kills
That is
Corki.
Nice.
Pop.
Different from the last game, so a lot more aggressive this game.
Corki was picking up all these kills early, and we see
just chunks the Zac out.
And now Jarvan knows blue is spawning, right?
Right.
He should path there. Look at Zac's health bar. It's this big.
Right.
Go get him.
Well, even Padlock can just go straight there.
Exactly.
Push the lane, go straight there. You know he's there.
Yeah.
Do it.
I think Corki might have... I don't think he has package yet. So exactly.
I can't tell,
If he had package, maybe not, because that is a huge gap closer. But you've got to keep that in mind. And that's something that is... and Patty Daddy is... Tress family is... He's hard carry. He's absolutely a monster.
He's a monster.
Scary. I would not want to lane versus this guy. He sees Zac flying in. When you see that shadow, you heart starts pounding.
Right. Sometimes you just run into it because you're like, oh crap.
He's like, I don't care. He dashes in, lands the charm and the Q. Great combo. Turns the 2v1 and chunks out Zac. Almost kills him as well. Yeah, that was just very clean and very. Even though he's not on the Nico that everyone's so scared of, he's playing this Ari great. Maybe that's why he locked it in.
Nice.
And we see the 4-man in here. Ooh. And Jarvan with the EQ flash, very clean.
That was very clean.
And we see and Sion comes in. He's caught out. He gets a black shield after he dies, or he gets out. Corki runs in 1v4. Jarvan gets another knockup. Is this it?
Oh, I know, right?
Very good team play right there.
Very good.
Yeah,
right.
And Jarvan started all off. The EQ flash, sometimes people do it and it's not needed. That one was very clean because it let the TP come through, the orange get the R. It let everyone follow through. Even though it doesn't do the damage, it still gets a CC. And without that, I think that fight is up for naught.
Right.
And then we saw the late TP by Sion. He TP'd into the middle of the team. He's like, what am I doing?
Where's everybody? And then Corki just comes out of nowhere. It's like, I'm running right through everybody. Come kill me.
Yeah, I'm just going to face check this. But yeah, that was very clean by THE. And Cody with the slick play.
Yes.
Makes me want him to see Jarvan's the champion he's been most comfortable on. And last game with the Graves, he just looked very uncomfortable.
Like I said, Graves is a different play style. Very different play style than your all-in champion.
Where you're in there.
So it's a very hard.
Yeah. And we see Padawantano not going for Spooky Ghost or Hose first. He's actually going for Ludens, it looks like. Or he's going to just get the Luden or Lost Chapter and then build from there for the mana. You see that very commonly. Although I think he should be building. I don't even think the Glacial Augment is the right pick. He got super fed the last 2 games, and with those builds, he does a lot less damage. Whereas if he goes Electrocute or Dark Harvest and builds like standard Ludens into Hourglass into Death Cap, he could probably carry a little bit more. Especially with how well he's been playing. He's been playing out of his mind. So and there's a low HP Zac, no pressure.
But it's jungle sense, right?
Yeah.
It's that's the hardest part to get it to build up is jungle sense.
Yeah, and you don't want to get caught out and lose your team the game because you want to invade a Zac.
Yeah. Nice.
This Zyra play has been happening, and he's gonna. The skill shots, I tell you.
I don't know.
Feels
bad. Feels bad.
And Zac jumps in, He's kind of caught out. Orn with the prio here. He gets the... I don't even see who got the Rift Herald there. Did Zach pick it up?
I think Zach... No, because...
Orn picks it up.
Yeah, Orn picks it up.
Yeah, that was an absolute tragedy by Zach.
It was a good try to disrupt it, but he didn't have... There was no prio, though.
Yeah, you had no prio in top lane. Orn gets there first. Ari's there before Corki. Ari's way stronger at this point. Corki's sitting on a tier call.
Oh, he missed the ult. He biffed the ult.
So I think he tried to flash in front of Sion to cancel Sion's ult.
Yeah.
Because Jarvan was there, but it wasn't even close.
No, not even. Nice. This Zyra play is not bad.
Yeah, Storyteller is
very good.
Great. He's winning this lane.
Yes, he is.
He's doing a lot of the damage and letting Ezreal get to the point where he scales. You see a lot of times Bard with Ezreal because Bard's one of these dominant laning supports. Zyra does the same thing, even into Morgana hard counter. She's been just chunking them out, and when Jinx, Morgana has to constantly play the laning phase at half health, it's no fun.
It's no fun at all. They can't get the farm.
Yeah, you can't get the farm. If Zyra lands one skill with a Ezreal Q, you're just dead.
It stalls the hyper carry out of Jinx as well, too. It's
you
just...
see this CS gap. 84 to 69, and I do like Ezreal's choice here. He went Sheen first to get some of that lane pressure, whereas last game we saw the tier first. And Padawan does finish Hose. Does Hose build out of Lost Chapter? I don't even know.
Yeah, it does.
And yeah, Storyteller pushing up again. Maybe a little far,
too
but
aggressive.
He does a ton of damage, so he's not even scared. He's turning around and going in.
Around.
He says, "You're taking my Morgana. I'm gonna kill you." But barely lives. We see Camel turning here. And Jarvan is coming.
Kill, that's the thing.
And Ari's probably gonna come through Tri-Bush, and he ults.
That's a little aggressive.
We see the TP from Corki, and this is exactly what TNG does not want to see.
And the double kill of
Jinx. Oh, but here's Ari. 1v3, 1v4. No mana on anyone. Is he going to go for this? He picks up one. Is this going to be the quad?
Maybe.
I would lose my mind.
Maybe.
She has flash. Oh, but the...
Crap. Oh, he still double kill.
Jinx gets the shutdown. So that's actually worst case scenario. And Jinx has the pickaxe. Is it going to be Muramana? Please don't do it. Please. So Ari was going for the highlight play there. That was just very sloppy. We saw Zyra get a little overextended.
Yes.
She got Morgana to like 1 HP, but it was just a little short.
It was.
And Ornn versus Sion here. I think Sion wins that because of the wave. Supportal combat. And then Ari comes down, tries to save the game. 1v4, gets a double kill, but then gets rooted under tower and gives a shutdown kill to the hyper carry. Which is not ideal. We see
Infinity
Jinx.
Edge.
Yeah, we see
So not Muramana.
Jinx with Infinity Edge before Ezreal finishes his tier item. This pretty feels bad. We see Dragon going in. Is Cody going to go for the steal? He goes for it. Now he's kind of caught out, but Ornn is here. He completely whiffs his ult. But Ari is just she's trying to will her team to a win. I tell you what, she is...
That damage from the Corki, though.
Corki answers back. Actually, Jinx answered with the kill, but Corki did a lot of burst damage there. Ari is willing her way. Trying, everything's missing on THE, and Ari is just dashing in there, and she's playing out of her mind, but...
First tower goes to THE.
Yeah, I think with Black Shield and a fed Jinx, I don't know how THE can answer this. If Jinx just doesn't flash into the backline or something, maybe this is the key. Vindy's not on the dashing champion. He can't jump into the back.
He can't force himself into a team fight.
Yeah, he can't suicide. So, and hopefully doesn't build Frozen Mallet. But
Hey, what happened to his Swifties that he likes to go on his ADCs?
I think he finally realized it was awful. So, Muramana finished for Corki and Ezreal. more like the Padawan elites. Hey, Padawan's been playing crazy.
Got the lane switch, bot lane, ADC support going up top.
Yeah, so they're going to look to fight for this Herald, I assume. And we got an Ocean Drake, which is very good for both teams.
Yep.
Very good on Ezreal, very good on Corki. And we see just some trading here, some grass proc trading.
Not much with that.
Nothing happening. And it's going to get to the point where Zach outscales Jarvan.
Yep.
Mid, Corky's going to outscale, and Jinx outscales. So they have 3 outscaling lanes. Top's probably even. Actually, Ornn probably outscales Sion just because he can get the benefit of the teams and the upgraded items. But usefulness-wise, Sion just serves similar purchase. And then support, actually, Zyra hard outscales Morgana damage-wise, but utility-wise, Morgana outscales. So definitely EGL favorite if this game doesn't get blown open by THE. Or if we have a Fiesta, who knows who's favored? It doesn't matter. It's who throws less.
But that damage is, I think damage is on EGL side.
Yeah, that's a big thing. In game 1, we saw THE have the damage advantage, and that's kind of what won them the game towards the end. But not this game. They don't have that to fall back on.
Because you still have to wait for the Ezreal to build up that damage as well.
Yeah, and look for when he completes his Muramana. Is it going to be before the 3rd Dragon fight? That's the really key checkpoint to see if the Ezreal's going to be online. And Ornn getting hit by the Q, but he's Ornn. He's chilling. They actually do get the Rift Herald, so through the swap, it gets paid. But it's 2nd Herald, so they're not getting turret plates. So it's not like the end of the world. Sion actually getting some damage out on here, and then Zach getting Vision of Dragon. So I'm sure they'll get a little bit of map pressure from the Herald, but you really just want Ezreal to be cranking out his Muramana.
Right.
He's going to build Frozen Fist this game for sure.
He's going to have to.
He actually already has the cloth armor too, so he finishes his call. Probably a little bit of a, I was just going to say a little bit of a
right there. Wow, very nice, Mike.
Jarvan's
out. Zach's down.
Jarvan's out because Ornn is super tanky, and Jarvan actually comes back in. And Ari dashes in and does so much damage.
Nice.
And picks up a couple kills, but Corki does so much damage. He's actually not getting kills though. In last game, he has 7 assists. He had like 5 kills at this point, and that really propelled him. Couple KSs here by Sion, which happens. I mean, in those team fights, you want it to go over, but Zyra getting a little caught out, pushed up a little far. Yeah, Ezreal wasn't there for that fight. Padawan dashed in. He's a madman. He's going in. He's doing the damage.
He wants to win.
Yeah, he is trying to win.
He wants it.
But he did so much damage, but there was just nothing to follow up. Yeah.
And they couldn't get the Corki. I think Corki was able to do the consistent damage.
Yep, and that's the key. They have 2 consistent damage dealers with Corki and Jinx, whereas they're much more bursty on THE. And I'm really looking at Ornn to set up these team fights. We haven't seen that last Ornn ult was good, but the ones before it, we saw him kind of miss everyone. So we really want to see him be able to bring the CC, because that's the key. If they CC them, followed up with the Jarvan into the Ahri, and Ahri's able to Q in someone in the Cataclysm, it's so much better than if she has to free fire it.
Agreed.
Same with the Ezreal. That makes skill shots, anything to help skill shots, especially in this game.
So waiting on, so this is what, 3rd Drake?
3rd Dragon, 1 apiece.
Yeah, not bad.
And Zyra does not have the Leandri's Torment finish yet. And we actually see Ornn TP in right away.
Already did.
Yep,
yeah.
so he's the tank. So you need him there. And this is going to be front-to-back team fights. Both teams have front-to-back. No assassins or anything to make it exciting. So the front line is Sion and Zach versus the front line of Jarvan and Ornn. So it's going to be lots of fun. And like I kind of talked about before, Zyra is actually very good at getting through front lines when she finishes their 2 items. So keep an eye on her positioning. It's actually more important than typical support.
Might lose mid tower for this.
Yeah, and they're just afraid to start it. I think they just start the Dragon. And because Corki's not there.
Yeah, Corki's not there. Does Corki have Oh, what's that?
Package? I didn't hear it, so I don't think so. Unless the audio doesn't work. But yeah, you see Jake's just walking up.
Okay.
Yeah, you hear Cyan ult coming in at the same time.
That was a nice.
Yeah, they canceled the Horn ult.
Yeah, very
just
nice.
Dies. But Ezreal lands a nice 4-man True Shot barrage. But Cyan is popping off. Ezreal gets hit by the Morgana binding.
Jarvan
in the back line. And here comes Ari trying to 1v9 this game. Misses her. Hits the Q. Corki's going in. We got a 1v1 between the Scion and the support.
And Corki just pulls it off.
Kills. Yeah.
Oh, man.
And he's got 11 KP out of 13.
Yes, that's nutsy.
Yeah, it is not good. Ari trying her best.
Yeah.
She is willing her way. She's dashing in. She has no fear. She missed the charm. That was huge. If she lands that charm, they definitely
that would have been. Yep.
Yeah, it was just so split. We have Scion 1v1ing a Zyra in melee range. They're just punching each other.
Like 1v2 and 1v3 to let the back line back there. Holy cow.
And Ornn didn't get his ult off once again. He's been...
He got CC twice that game to be prevented.
He face tanked the Scion ultimate, which is what he's there for.
Right.
But then he just got piled on, and he wasn't able to actually hit the ram. So it just came through and applied brittle, which is okay, but
couldn't do much to help prevent.
Yeah, and maybe if he lands that Ornn ult, Ari can go in. And Jarvan did a really good job getting in there. He's full tank, but he was doing some damage in the backline. But Ornn just struggling to get off the ground in this fight or in this game here.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. I think we're going to be in more for a game 1 game than a game 2.
You think so?
Yeah, it's super close.
Especially going back and forth all over again.
Yeah. I don't know if that's good or bad.
The thing is, they are bringing that Corki back into the game, though.
Yeah,
that's
Corki,
the hardest part. He was already out of the game, the first 5-10 minutes?
Yeah.
And then all
Ari
of a sudden,
was stomping.
Yeah.
And once again, Ari gets this team build to help the team, but just imagine if that was a Ludens and a Death Cap.
That's true.
Maybe she just...
Or Zhonya's at least. Yeah,
or Zhonya's, and she's a little more safe.
Yeah.
And tanky, because they do only have 2 damage threats on the side of EGL.
Right.
And it is nice to slow everyone, but he's hard carrying. Like, you got to empower yourself, guy. You see Zach going on Ezreal. Ezreal doing what he does best. Ian out. And Zyra finished the Leandri Torment, so now she's going to start doing some damage.
She's already doing a lot.
Yeah,
already.
she might be doing the most damage on the team besides Padawan.
I think so too. Yeah.
And she likes seeing tanks. Has no problems going through Zach. Scion, once he gets that more MR, he's going to be a little bit more difficult. But the Zach who builds primarily health, especially early, he has a little less econ. Is definitely going to be a more favorite for the Zyra to go through. And Jarvan's here, but he's getting kind of cheese.
Nice.
And the farm alarm. Oh! He said,
gets the
JK,
Zyra.
I'm going for the Zyra. And Zyra trying to...
Unfortunately, just got caught out there.
Yeah, he was going to help the top lane.
Yeah.
Because everyone showed up there, and Sion missed his R, and he said, oh, I'm just going to take it right to mid to farm. And Zyra just happened to be...
I don't know if there was a ward there for him to keep going down.
I think there was no vision. I think he was just going to get the farm in mid, and he just happened to ram the Zyra. That sucks. That's Zyra probably guaranteeing that he cancels it right after Jarvan gets out, which is the logical thing to do. But yeah, I don't know. That was quite.
That was a nice.
Jarvan picked, and we see THE just losing it right here. They were within 500 gold. Now that just turns into 1,000 doubles. Dragon's coming up. We see Corki put Zach in the enemy jungle. Little team conflict here.
I agree with B Mills. I think that's a Baron call right there.
Yeah.
Like Jarvan's down. Baron call. No vision from THE.
Package up.
Yeah, package up. That's a Baron. That's a Baron push right there.
Yeah. No, definitely.
Because you can go from Baron and then straight and just get ready for Dragon after that. That's...
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. They just have to play where Ari isn't. Ari's their only hope at this point.
Yeah.
Ezreal building the Last Whisper instead of the Blade of the Ruin King, it's probably fine. But look at Zach. He's got no armor items. Scion does. I think Blade's probably a little more efficient here.
Yeah.
For Peel, he does have the Frozen Fisties, so he does damage.
Peel,
yeah.
right.
I don't know. It's a horse of piece, I think, at this point. But I do think if THE get this dragon, they're in a great spot because that puts them at soul point. So taking this fight, and what we see, we see Cork actually get the ultimate off.
Yeah.
But Corky is absolutely
annihilated Ari.
He killed Padawan, and Ezreal's still alive. And this is the power of Ezreal right here. But he's going to eat a Q from Scion. He's kiting. Finally, the triple kill for Ezreal. And he popped Corky, and Jinx, I didn't even see what happened to her, honestly. Yeah, get the dragon. Zach is still alive, so Ezreal gonna find him. I think he wins this. Zach has no armor, just MR. Fighting against an 80 carry. Not sure what he's doing. He's running it. And this is gonna be third dragon. And just like that, this game is, how was it, 2000, Blade of the Ruin King for the Orin upgrade is definitely true. But he gets the Frozen Fist upgrade.
Yeah.
It's probably not as gold efficient. I know Frozen Fist is one of the least gold efficient. And actually, if you build Blade of the Ruin King and get it Orin upgraded, you can build another Blade of the Ruin King and get double passive.
Yeah.
Hey, how much fun does that sound like? Yeah, Frozen Fist upgrade is pretty interesting.
But that fight was very well executed on the THE side, though.
But it does give Ezreal more armor, so this might actually be the big brain upgrade because they have their only threats are AD. So,
that's true.
I mean, Corky is mixed. He does do a portion AD, I should say.
Yeah, but it's all auto attacks for him.
Yeah, so
once his cooldowns are done.
Frozen. I'm missing what you guys are saying. Yes, he upgraded it. But I was just saying they could have been double blade, and that's hype. Now I'm all for hype. Yeah. No, I agree. I think blade is much better. But you know, it is what it is. He doesn't have any other upgrade targets for any other champions. So.
That's true.
Because if Ari had Death Cap here, could be the Rabadon's Death Crown, and that's like a huge power spike.
That's huge damage.
So once again, I like the team enabling of the build, but I like damage. And we see the Arnold.
And it cuts the Jinx.
He flashes past the Jinx. Jarvan does to get on her, burns her flash. She actually happy feats, dodges everything, but still dies because everyone's just piling on her. And that's what THE need to do. They just need to kill the Jinx. And now it's a one damage source threat. They just kill Corky, and then they can just kind of run around and kill him. If they aren't starting the Baron, Jarvan's taking a crap ton of damage from Corky. Corky's huge. He's got the 3-item spike. This is where he needs to be. Look for the charm from Ari to land on Corky. That's pretty much a game ender. But we see the all-in. Scion pushed up a little bit. He is ignited. Is he going to tick?
I think
he lives.
Too much health, man.
He's tanky. But we see Ari get hit with the binding, miss the charm, use the hose, and she is pushing the wave. But now Jinx ultimate comes in. Zach jumps in. He is all alone. He's 1v5. He trades for junglers. And Ezreal dies as well.
Another Fiesta.
Nice Fiesta. Yeah, that is true. This game is just
I don't know how easy he died either, Miles. I'm wondering the same thing.
That's where I was like, he died to Corky, I think. A Corky rocket while he was tanking tower. I'm pretty sure that's how it was.
Was it? Okay.
That's the only way that makes sense.
That's the only way it makes sense too, but still.
But yeah, Corky is absolutely huge.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see what his third item is. He has the BF sword. Is he going IE or is he going to go something defensive or fourth item? Yeah. Is he going to go like a GA? I think he's going all in. He's saying, I'm going IE. I'm going to one-shot this Ari since she's been popping off. Cryptic's been playing this game very well, too.
Yeah.
These two mid laners have been showing up very well. And Ari hard carried mid-game.
Right.
This game probably would have been over if she wasn't willing her way to keep that in this game.
I agree with you. She's behind on farm big time, but I think her utility is making up for it. Like you said,
Yeah.
you don't like it that much, but I think it just helps.
It helps,
guarantee the skill shots.
Definitely.
You know what I
It's
mean?
harder to carry,
hard to
but
carry,
it helps
but-
the team.
Yep.
And that's a trade-off. Like, do you want to help the team? You want to be
Right.
selfish. And he's a team player. But look at Zyra. She does low-key damage. Like, you don't really notice it, but she's probably putting in work with this Riley's
Leandri's mix, yeah.
Yeah, so.
And that stuff hurts, man.
Yeah, they almost have to kill her because she burns the front line.
Yep.
And Ezreal is working on the blade fourth. The replays are not working after we ran some ARAM last 2 weeks ago. I think we put it on the bench for a little bit. We got
It'll for sure come second season once we get the kinks working out. I'm
bold
hoping
guarantee.
so. I am. I'm having a bold because I really want to see it. I really want it.
Yeah, and 3 dragons, games on a timer. Ocean Dragon's huge.
Oh, to catch out the
Scion's
Scion?
caught out. Jarvan
That's going to
with
be a
EQ.
lot. Okay.
He's knocked up. He's huge. He's
Yeah.
tanky, but his ultimate gets canceled. They're burning a lot on him. Maybe at this point they should focus someone else because he's out of the fight. Now they're kind of split. Ezreal's chasing Scion. And they have no damage because Ezreal's running it towards Scion. Now he's running away from Scion. And Vindy's doing a great job healing. Buys enough time.
Yeah.
Solo Mason's tanky. Corky's full health. Ezreal's full health. Little
Nice
1v1
dodge.
here. Camel played that very clean.
He played it really well there.
Is he going to be able to get away from the Zac?
Ooh.
Yoink.
Too
He's
long.
dead.
Yeah.
They lose the dragon. 50-50. Is Solo Mason going to suicide for this? That's the question. We saw last time when Zac tried to steal it, he just fed a kill.
Yeah.
Is Corky going to go over the wall and try and kill the J4, or is J4 going to be able to get an opportunity for the 50-50
Corky
here?
that's almost a one shot potential right there on the court.
I think it's worth, though. If they get it, they get Soul.
Right.
So,
Right.
yeah, I am.
He's got to go for it. I'd go for it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, too late.
Yeah, he didn't have vision.
No.
So he goes for it. He tries. It's worth a try.
Yep.
The only problem is Baron's probably going to go down now.
You know, they shouldn't have forced the... That was a questionable fight against the Scion. Wasting everything on the Scion.
Yeah, they wasted everything on the
should've just let
Scion,
him
and then Ezreal chased him down the lane,
Right.
killed him, and by that time, his whole team was dead, and Scion's
Yeah.
passive was running him down, keeping him out of the fight.
Right.
Like, once they did all the initial damage, like the EQ, burn a little bit, I mean, the Ornn ult was just at Scion,
Yeah.
Ezreal burned everything, and then they had nothing for the team, and they could have just chunked out Scion, walked away, took the 4v5, won the fight, killed the dragon, win the game. Instead, they're BSing.
Oh, another
Yeah, they
miss.
cancel Ornn's ultimate
Another
again.
miss.
But Ari gets on the Corky. That's a huge pick. And now she's out. She just has Zac. Zac doesn't do a whole lot of damage. Ezreal's still down.
Oh, and the
Ezreal
Morgana
gets to
goes
the
on an
fight
Ornn.
late, and he is going to be able to go through these tanks. Should be pretty decently, but he's melee forming. Zyra's
Wow,
pumping out the damage.
nice.
Jarvan saves the day. Is Scion passive going to be able to put in work? They kill all the tanks. Baron's still
Scion's
up.
off.
Is this going to be the win for THE? And you know who did all the work? Padawan
Padawan
somehow weaves in there, gets
Yeah.
a charm onto the Corky and one-shots him. I don't even know how that's possible.
Dude, he like split right through the 2 tanks too. Oh my gosh, that was crazy.
He's smurfing, I swear. This guy is not balanced.
This guy's... Yeah, that was nuts.
Ban
That was
Ari.
nutsy, dude.
The last game.
Nutsy.
Why have they been banning Nico? This
That's
guy's
what I'm
Ari is
wondering. The
clean.
Ari is just clean.
Wow.
Ari is just good.
Yeah, he somehow...
He's literally single-handedly going 1v5 this, like literally 1v9 the whole team right now.
And a little bit of a build critique. The IE for the Corky, sure he does a lot of damage. He did a lot of damage before.
Right.
If he has QSS here and he never dies to Ari, they
That's
probably never
different.
lose a game.
Right.
Never lose a fight. That's the
Right.
only way they lose this fight is if Ari one-shots Jinx or Corky.
Yep.
And even though Ornn's been running it and not even second casting his ultimate, we've seen like 2 casts. One was just on a solo Scion who lived anyways. They've been playing really well around the Ornn ultimate, CCing him the second that the ultimate comes down. But yeah, I don't know. This is wild. This is a fiesta.
Yeah.
Throwing back and forth. I don't even care about the gold lead because THE are probably going to run it down and give Corky another 4 kills, and then the same thing.
It's gonna go back.
We're gonna see 5 Elder Dragons,
5 Barons before the game ends.
Gotta massage the boys.
Man.
Get it ready. Yeah, but the thing is they're killing one of the carries and then they have no damage.
Yeah.
And that's 100% Ari. If this is a sustained fight, I have to even favor EGL even at this point. And Jinx has been not been getting much value. If she gets a reset though, it could be a big difference. And we see Ornn get the ultimate down and just like Morgana.
So.
Yeah. And this is the sustained fight we've been looking for.
Yeah.
And Jinx is just free firing. And he's got to focus the Ezreal. He's focusing the Jarvan down, gets the kill, but we see the reset's going to come through for Jinx. He misses the W. That would have been a huge... But Zyra goes down, Jinx goes down, Ezreal doing a lot of damage.
3 for 3.
Yeah.
Pretty even.
There was a point there where Jinx was autoing the Jarvan when he was in auto range of the Ezreal, and I think if he just tries to kill the Ezreal, got a lot of damage.
Yeah.
If he kills Ezreal, they run through that fight, and it's getting to the point where EGL was hyper favored in extended fights, but through that fight, it was extended, and Ezreal probably did more damage than everyone.
Yeah.
He landed a lot of skill shots. We see Corky flashing in, gets the fleet footwork proc. The Corgi is running it, but Ornn is a balanced champion, and he's got slow stunts, and he's going to take the 1v1, and Corky actually gets the pick. Oh my god, he turns it. Assassin tank, mage, 200 health, happy feet, dodges the Q, dodges the Zap knockup, takes the 2v1, gets out.
That's crazy.
I have no idea what is going on, man. What is happening? Why did Corky chase him?
I know. That's just... That's an Ornn you're going against, right? Just so much
and he's
armor.
not buying QSS still.
No.
He's got another BF sword. He just
that
loves swords.
Or?
I'm assuming what they're...
Or Guardians?
Yeah, or Guardians,
Maybe.
but yeah. Otto Antano just running them down.
Doing his thing.
Yeah, his Q burned through the black shield there finally, along with Zyra, so he was able to charm and then just kill him. Zyra, 21 KP, having a great game. Ezreal, I don't know where Hampton started landing skill shots.
I know, right?
After watching those first 2 games, I almost had an aneurysm. But now he's landing like every Q, so I don't know what happened. He must have drank
He
must have drank his gamer fuel or something in between game 2 and 3. But
maybe the monster kicked in. I don't know, man.
Otto Antano took him into training mode and showed him how to land some skill shots. But he is playing very well. He is positioning well. He's dodging Corky Qs.
He's in the fights a lot more now, so
he's there on time.
He's not lagging behind. You know. But I'd have to agree. I think Patty's really carrying them. He's really getting them motivated.
Yeah,
to get
Sion's looking for a pick. And he doesn't luckily run into his Zyra, but we see the package, and it's
He gets caught out.
I should have never said anything.
We just jinxed him.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Corky runs it down right into the Ezreal after Sion rams into it. And now here's the throw. Are we going to see a counter throw by EGL? Are they going to run down and get some prio? THE is going to hate me. I told them to pick Singe. They lose. I compliment Hampton. He runs it. So Ornn coming in. 2-man because of the black shield. Sion's charmed. Ari's doing a lot of damage to this guy. He's got the Death Crown upgraded and the Void Staff, so he's burning through them. He's strong. Everyone's strong. I have no idea what's happening.
I don't know either. Like, again, this is like first game. I'm speechless. I don't even know what to say. Like, things are going well for both teams, but then it's like they're making decisions that should not have been made on both teams. It's like, what's going on? So we're getting ready for Baron.
Yeah, they might as well just coin flip this. Who knows? Let's just go in. Let's see a 5v5 because they've been super close. Skill shots missing have been basically the difference.
Right.
See Ornn, he is hella fed now.
Yeah.
He's got Knight's Vow, Gargoyles. I don't even know what his last item is. Give him the Death Cab or something. I don't know. And does Jarvan have? Yeah, he has Locket upgraded.
Jarvan's got Locket.
So the only item or person left to upgrade an item would be Zyra.
Zyra
Not sure. If I was Zyra, I'd go Death Cap, honestly.
Just to add in some more damage because she has the ability to do
and
that.
she's not getting focused. She's been able to free fire, and she's been kind of winning some of these fights.
If she got that,
So Jinx picks up the QSS, Corki with the GA instead. I do.
Nice.
Yeah, and Soul Mason, GA does help against the Jarvan, but this is going to be a very messy fight. Zach is a huge two-man ultimate. Jarvan is getting to that point where he's more utility. Sion swinging his hammer, holding it to max duration just to hit nobody.
And Jarvan just gets out.
Jarvan gets out. Ornn is in the back line disrupting, and we see the Frozen Fist really be useful in these extended fights. And Corki lives after the GA, but he is low, no GA. QSS still up for Jinx. She's got no mana. Should have went Mana Mune.
Yeah, maybe they went to Mana Mune, you know. You save some mana right there the whole fight.
I just haven't seen Jinx getting these resets, getting excited and popping off. She is like out of the fight. She's terrified of Padawan. I'd be terrified of him too with how he's playing. But hey, these fights
dude, you have the Jarvan and the Ahri that's gonna
Jarvan
jump
is
on him.
huge.
You know, like
he doesn't do the damage, but he's just annoying.
Yeah.
He's in your face. He locks you in a little circle, and you can't do anything.
Man, Ornald's up again. Wow.
Balance champion. And Sion says, I need to win this fight. I'm 1v5. He's surviving very well. He's got Zeke's. He peels well. He comes back. But we see Jinx just
coming down.
Caught out. She is just running down mid lane. She's away from her whole team.
Yeah.
She's got a huge front line, refusing to use it.
Almost killed Ahri, though. I do have to say that. He did almost kill the Ahri one.
Zyra did so much damage to Jinx in that exchange. Yeah, Zyra doing a lot here.
Yeah.
Ezreal having a great game. He started 5-0 on Jinx. He is now 6-9. And Zach going for the hero play. He's leaning back. He says, nope, I'm just going to take the blast cone. He has to steal this, otherwise the game's over.
Yeah.
And THE trying to pro play this and slow movement, but they're not doing it. They whittle it down slowly, so Zach can get it.
The Baron. THE equals Baron.
THE windled it down slowly, so Zach had a nice, easy chance at the 50-50. I don't know. And now Padawan doing what he does best, puts the team on his back.
Yeah.
He's hurting. He's probably slouching in his chair, too, because he is hard carrying.
He is carrying that team, man. He's like piggybacking everybody.
And Sion
just runs it down.
He's running it down. He's trying to grab the minion wave here. He's going to suicide and try and kill some of these supers, but they're just going to walk away from him. Ornn going to kill him. Who knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
He's PO'd. He's running it.
And they're going to end it here. Hey, THE pulls off
a clean win.
We'll say clean.
He just needed more fiestas. And that's why Jinx is not a good pick in competitive, because
she's just
gets
so
popped. She's just so
she has
immobile.
nothing.
If she doesn't have flash up, she has no way out of the Cataclysm.
No.
She's good. I think the only way she's playable is with like a Thresh, where you have the Dark Passage and a Lantern.
Yeah. So
But
THE pulls off their first win.
Their last
Good job.
game is a win.
Yeah.
It was a fiesta. A lot of kills. Ezreal did 62,000 damage. Holy moly. Hampton hit some skill shots. And
He
won
hit
the
his
game.
skill shots to get that. I literally thought Ahri was going to pull off the most damage that whole game.
And if she went the carry build, she probably would have, but she did go supportive. Maybe the slows were helping them land those Qs. Zyra right behind them with damage. Like we said, she was very good at getting through the front line, doing more damage than almost all of EGL. Jinx just got really focused after she got ahead, and that's the dangers of that pick. But yeah, that was wild.
That was
three-game series. My voice is sad.
But I really do have to say, Patty did carry that team.
Patty hard carried MVP
man.
for sure.
Yeah.
Of all 3 games for them.
Yep.
Ornn played very bad in the beginning, I will say, but he picked it up. In the second half of the game, he was landing the ultimates. He was peeling well.
Yeah.
Ezreal stepped up. He upgraded the wrong item. Built the last Whisper before Blade. I don't know. I don't. Yeah, so it was interesting.
It was interesting.
Thank you guys for joining us, and I need to stop talking for a little bit. So we will see you next weekend.
Have a good weekend.
2 p.m. So have a good week, and everyone stay safe. So
see you guys.
Bye.